Holy Woody Retrack, we are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast. This is the podcast where we talk about theme parks, news from the amusement industry, roller coasters every single week. If you are listening to this on Spotify, just to let you know that we do this every week live over on the Chain Dogs podcast YouTube channel. So come and join us, get involved in the chat. We rely on the chat heavily. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining us. How are we all doing, everyone?
Hello, we're back.
Doing well. Guess who's back?
We back.
I've been away for like nearly 3 weeks. It's crazy.
It's been emotional. It's been emotional.
Yeah. It's been like another Christmas break.
It literally was, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
Had Christmas. Then we need another Christmas break. That's what it was.
Emma's actually just been sat there for 3 weeks. Waiting.
Yeah.
Like, with that same face.
Got a link, mate.
Yeah.
Sick of your antics, mate.
So yeah, hope everyone is well. Let's look into the chat.
A lot of people.
We've got Lloyd, how you doing? We got Kira, how you doing? Ads, Theme Park Fanatic. We got Tom. We got Chris. We got Gemma. We got CB. We got Iona. We got that ginger one, not Carl. We got Techno Andrew. We got Neil. We got
Carl's
Matt.
exercising.
Oh yeah, Carl is exercising.
Whoa.
Come on, run,
If
mate, run.
I'm running and it's just started raining. Yeah, that's funny.
There's a man behind you. Run. Yeah, how we doing?
Emma's behind you, everyone.
But yeah, we got loads of people. But yeah, first of all, I just want to explain the title because I don't know. I was on the understanding that like majority of people knew what a weenie was. That is my fault. But a few people didn't know a weenie. Who's got a definition of a weenie?
Weenie.
I think I'll go with a few definitions.
I'll do it.
The dictionary. So
I mean, it depends which way you want to go.
No. Then
Let me finish.
let me finish. An easy definition of a weenie is like all the Disney castles are a weenie. It's basically just a big focal point of a park. It was pretty much coined by Walt Disney. That's what he called it.
It's a focal point. All right.
But I think it's used as a kind of I don't know, as a generic term now for just like a focal point of an area as well. But yeah, a focal point of something, kind of giving you a true north of a park so you can see it, or an area where you can see it from different bits. It just, yeah. That's what a weenie is, everyone.
Just like
Welcome to the show.
Like an attraction, like an attraction can have a weenie, and a themed area can have a weenie.
Like Big Bang.
Yeah.
And you know what?
And a whole park
The reason
can obviously have
I just think it's so funny calling it a weenie. I thought Attack of the Weenies was just
yeah. That is just a hilarious.
I mean,
to be fair.
what a first show for out of context to be back in the chat, by the way.
The weenies are here.
Yeah.
All the weenies.
Of course, what timing?
Yeah.
This is
Essential
perfect
point.
timing.
But yeah, that's what it is. And the discussion later on, the main discussion is going to really be about weenies, about focal points, but mainly about theme park design. Stop laughing at me. We're talking about weenies.
Can we have a weenie counter at the top?
Yeah.
How many times say
Yeah,
weenie?
yeah,
We've
yeah.
already surpassed that. Like we've already.
Apparently, me and McCall look like we've fallen out.
Yeah.
Do
Oh
we?
God.
We're facing
Yeah,
away from each other.
Oh, they're friends
There you
again.
Oh yeah. That
Now
makes
we're
sense.
just looking longingly into each other's eyes.
Oh.
But James does like to be in that corner, so he's got to stay there. Sorry, guys.
James, mirror your
Yeah.
camera.
I just wanted to
Anyway.
confess my undying love for James, man. Why you got?
Oh no, sorry.
Why
Sorry.
you hating?
It's
on-
James's orders, man. So yeah, just a quick rundown of what we're going to be talking about. Actually, forget that. We're not at that top podcast. We're just going to go straight into what we need to talk about. So first of all, Ghost Train, Darren Brown's Ghost Train. Obviously, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. It got taken off the app, got taken off the website, and today they have announced that it's coming back in a different form. It's not called Darren Brown's Ghost Train. It's called Ghost Train. So yeah, and I mean, let's just shall we have a look into it?
Andy?
The main thing, no VR.
Main thing is no VR. That's what they've hinted towards, and I think it's safe to say that that is going to be the case now.
I think that was expressly said by them.
It said there's nothing virtual about this. That's what they said.
If you go to the link they posted on the FAQs, there's a thing that says, does this have VR still?
Oh, yeah, it does, of course.
Yeah. It does not have VR.
Well, kind of I don't know what you call it, or whatever it is, was released. And then, if you go to the website, the description it says is "say your final farewell," which confused me at first because I was thinking, that's just not normally what people say about, like, when a scare maze, it's like final.
Yeah, I thought the way that I first read it was like, oh shit, they're closing it.
I thought they were leveling the entire ride.
That was my first guess, but it wasn't. So say your final farewell. Depart the mortal world on a one-way ticket beyond the veil into darkness on Thorpe Park Resort's newest ride experience, Ghost Train. But watch your tracks. Death is always one step ahead. The next generation of Ghost Train will take you on a harrowing ride into the realms beneath Thorpe Park Resort to where the supernatural believers call home. Ghost Train is one of the UK's longest ride experiences, featuring live actors, multi-sensory effects to create a terrifying attraction like no other. What do they mean by one of the longest attractions? Like, what is that based on?
I'd assume that's literally just from start to finish. The time.
How long it takes? Is it what? Is it like a? Does anyone remember how long that run through?
It's about 7 to 10 minutes, I don't think. 7 to 10
minutes. But they're basing that on scare mazes as well.
Are they including the queue line in that runtime as well?
Are you joking, mate? Because that is like the longest queue time in the world.
Well,
duration 13 to 15 minutes.
Okay. Well, you go on, Miguel.
I'm talking about how Rise of the Resistance was marketed to be like a 25-minute experience because of the queue line.
Do you mean like do you mean where the pre-show starts?
Yeah, because there's pre-shows in the queue line, right?
Well, not really. It's kind of like you can't. You
I don't know why I'm
right,
saying right though.
Because the when Rise starts, you're actually basically. I know what you're saying. You're basically still in the queue.
Yeah.
But Darren Brown doesn't really have anything like that because you go straight out of the queue into just a normal pre-show.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Like, is this going to be modified in a way that includes experiences in the queue line? I know Darren Brown didn't, but is this going to include anything like that? I don't know.
Because kind of like you could argue is the queue before the actual Madhouse. You could argue that.
Yeah, you could argue that, but I still wouldn't class it as the queue. Just like Rise, I still wouldn't class like as you start the queue, even though it's just a clever way of making a queue.
Yeah,
I still wouldn't call it. I still wouldn't call it that.
The argument could be made for either.
Yeah,
they've definitely left out the 10 minutes of waiting pointlessly in that room after the pre-show.
Yeah. But anyway, so it's an interesting. It's really got me interested just because, as you can see, like if you look down here, you've got like skulls and like skeletons and stuff, and it feels like it's gonna like you're going beneath the what is it called below the realms beneath Thorpe Park Resort with the supernatural believers call home. So I'm guessing that's going to be some kind of story. Supernatural believers.
I really like the there's up in like towards the top right corner. There's an Ouroboros sign on the wall there.
Yeah,
like the snake or serpent eating its own tail. I wonder what that could hint to, because that's a very specific symbolization of something, of like death and rebirth in ancient Egyptian mythology.
Thanks.
That's pretty well spotted. I didn't even notice that.
I never noticed.
It was one of the first things I saw. I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah, so we got like a train driver there. Obviously, this is a big thing. This is obviously going to be some kind of character, like a wraith type of creature.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's it's interesting. I'm just kind of excited to see what they're going to do with this.
Yeah.
I'm also really interested to see what the budget on this thing is, because it could.
Is it going to be not like a scare maze, obviously, but like a scare experience kind of thing? Obviously, they're still going to use a train, but there's no VR. So what you're going to sit in, and there's going to be some kind of lighting show with actors.
I'm hoping that they've made what already were blacked out windows screens.
Yeah.
So they can have stuff on there. And like I keep seeing things like people saying, oh, what, they're gonna have actors in there, like it's Thorpe, they'll end up getting rid of them within a year. For them to run that ride, they need a stupid amount of staff anyway.
Yeah.
Just dress them up. They already are dressed up.
Yeah.
There you go. There's your actors. They're running the ride and giving you the scares. Simple.
That's just a smart way to do it.
But it's true. But obviously, when you get onto that train, there's people standing there, but you would see him. But you'd have to also have surprise elements. You'd need something to happen. That's why I'm wondering about
I'm
the
assuming
budget.
the train scares would be like blacking out the train and the people there.
There'll be sounds. Yeah. But there needs to be it needs to have screen. Then windows have to be screens for interesting things to happen, because there's only so much you can do with like lights and sounds and stuff until it becomes basically like a dark field attraction. Like,
I think they might use the same window screen based technology as on the Hogwarts Express.
I hope so.
I hope so.
That would be cool.
Yeah,
that would be cool as well.
I feel like if they're going to do anything, that's where the money should go, and then they can just like maybe fill that middle section with actors and stuff.
Yeah,
they could have like banging sounds and stuff, and then the train like rocks as things hit them. I don't know if you've already said that kind of thing, but like they could have interaction moments with audio as well. That'd be pretty cool.
But even things like making the train rock, I doubt that's something that is feasible. Like that's like a full-on new ride system, isn't it?
It moves.
Not if they use it on the end section.
Yeah, it moves. Yeah.
So the end section, the train goes on to a table.
Yeah.
I remember the train moving.
It gets about halfway back to.
We did it without VR.
The shell.
Yeah.
And it actually gets raised up onto a motion platform.
Like that.
Yeah,
two pistons come up and they can rock the entire train. It moves like a good 10.
Right, I've never noticed that.
I've been
when you do it without VR,
when
you do it without VR, you move a lot.
Right, okay.
We were on the train for about 20 minutes because the VR just died. The whole thing just died. And we ended up having basically probably this experience. And it was sick. It was really good. So, yeah, I would love that. If they interacted with the actual movement of the vehicle, that'd be sick. Like the screens go out and then bang, something rocks the train. That'd be so cool.
So out of context, who said it's going to be similar to Dungeons?
Yeah, I remember that comment being made in reply to somebody's comment.
Really?
Yeah. Let me see if I can find it. I think it was on the
like the dungeons, like Merlin dungeons.
Yeah.
But that would be weird. That would be like
I saw that.
Yeah, that'd be odd.
A few different experiences in one.
What, like, so because like it kind of Dungeons works because it's meant to be like, that it's meant to be.
It's history, right?
It's history. It's learning. Like, it's interesting. But then if you're just stopping and talking to characters trying to tell you the story, I don't like it in scare mazes when they stop you too much.
No.
You do some of these scare mazes, and then they stop you for ages and they chat to you, and you're like, "No, I'm here to get scared."
It just
like,
chops up the pacing too much.
That's why I like the attic intro, because it was just dead quick and over, and they just set you up there.
I like a good pre-show.
Pre-show's great.
If you're gonna keep stopping us, like, you need to make it like I don't know. It's a strange one. Maybe they'll do it. What gone?
Apparently, they said it in response to a comment on the pass holder group.
Oh, okay.
I saw it on Twitter as well.
Well, we'll have to see.
I don't know. I can't find.
It's exciting though, and it's what every single person in the community has said: get rid of VR. So they've done it. So we can't lose now. They've done it. They got rid of it. Simple as that. We've won.
Yeah. It's just I'm just really interested in this. I'd love to know. I know they're not going to tell us, but I'd just love to know like what they are spending on it, because this will this will let me know like how excited I'm going to be. Because is it just they've got to do this because they have to, because we knew that IP was ending. We knew that license was ending.
That could possibly be it as well, but I mean, like you say, there's other options.
But are they then going to go, well, we're taking the VR out and then we're going to do some really good stuff in it? So we'll see. It could be amazing. Yeah. I'm just glad, I said on Twitter, I'm just glad that they're doing something with it, because it'd be a shame if they just ripped out the whole ride system. Like, there's something good there. There's a lot.
Do you think it could have had a bit more of a creative name?
Yes.
I'm in two minds about it, because like I don't know, I kind of like it, you know.
I like it, but it kind of makes me feel like there's no story. It's not story driven.
Yeah, but like
it's jump scares and shit.
But it was always meant to be a play on a ghost train, because it's a train. Do you know what I mean? Like, and I do like the fact that it's called Ghost Train.
I do like that. Yeah, I do like that.
Relates it to like just the you know Blackpool Pleasure Beach, or just like a traveling ghost train. So I kind of like that play on it in a way.
I do like that it could just give a new, like, more innovative spin on the ideation behind a ghost train,
which is what it's always meant to have been.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of people, you know,
like, I see nothing wrong with just taking that idea and just shaking it up and, you know, making it a bit more.
But
making it a bit more.
It was just funny because what was it earlier today? Someone on Twitter said, it's Joel on Twitter said, I prefer it to Curse of Alton Manor, and I was like, yeah, but it's still going to be called Ghost Train at Thorpe Park. So it's pretty much the same.
Yeah, I mean,
because you're going to go Ghost Train at Thorpe Park.
To be fair, like, it wasn't open that much. It was always down, so it's still the Ghost Train. So people might just think it's still the same ride. Go on, it's completely different. They'll be like, oh, all right, cool, that was cool, do it again. So, you know, if it's more reliable, I kind of see where they're going with that, actually. It makes a bit of sense.
But this means that this is like the major new investment for Thorpe this year, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
So I reckon a lot of
other than the Mac product
on it.
But yes.
What was that? The Mac?
No,
that's
this year. This year. He's talking about this year.
That's next year. This year must be that. And Colossus is opening this year. Is Colossus opening this year with a retrack? Or
they're doing bit by
partial retrack.
Partial retrack, yeah. So that'll be. So that I doubt they'll be marketing that. So there'll be a lot of marketing going in straight on this. Surely.
Speaking of that, is Tazuka doing 2 retracking projects in the same off season?
Yeah.
At different ends of the country.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Which just makes me think they've probably just bought a warehouse down south as well as up north. They got one near me in Haywood, and then they probably got one further south.
I mean, there's a lot. Obviously, there's a lot to build in a coaster, but if you know how to erect steel, it's all kind of the same thing, isn't it? Like,
and they scan it, don't they? They do LiDAR scanning of the
but the actual installation of it.
Oh, the installation, it's just construction, isn't it?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Talking on ghost trains. We're a bit we're a bit delayed to this because we missed last week.
Yeah, something happened last week. Not quite sure what.
Yeah, so Emma's gone to go get a pork pie.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, she's back.
She's
got a pork pie.
Got a pork pie.
No.
Back down.
I do want pork pie, you know, if that's what you all want.
I would have loved.
That's what we've come for.
To grab a pork.
So yeah, it was released. It was last week, weren't it? When Curse of Alton Manor was.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So here we go. The artwork and the name was finally revealed. So obviously it would be a lot different reaction if it was last week, because it was like it blew people away, didn't it? Like,
for sure. This is I said to you in the chat earlier. This is my favorite artwork I've ever seen.
Yeah, really good artwork
from Merlin. It's just really good. It's just quality. It's good to see Jewel in it. Well, the Jewel house, the haunted house, in a different aspect completely by the park themselves as well. It just screams quality.
It just I'd have to go back through the different marketing posters that Towers has had over the years, but it just looks like it. I think I said this last week as well. Like I just think it looks like it's taking itself so much more seriously as an attraction than Duel did.
Yeah,
like from what we've seen from this, from the concept images that we saw from Catapult, was it?
Conductor.
Conductor, that's it.
Yeah.
Conductor. Sorry. Yeah, it looks so much more substantial.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
What I like about
based, I love it.
The artwork that they've released as well, it looks like it's targeting it more towards kind of adults.
Yeah,
a bit darker in it.
Young adults. That like there's no family in the artwork.
Yeah,
it's interesting. It's interesting that is because it does state on the actual website that it is for like it's a family attraction. But
then that image seems like they're marketing it differently.
But what you have to remember is kids don't get scared from seeing people kids always want to seem older, so they want to what attracts them is like they want, you know, what when we were younger we wanted to watch horror films, right?
Yeah.
And I think it's just a clever way of being like it will make kids want to do it more if they're seeing adults in that situation.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you know what I mean?
That's a really good point, actually.
Yeah,
so
definitely. I think it's like obviously with my kids and stuff, if they saw that and they were like, "What is?" When I go to scare attractions and stuff, Lola's always like, "Well, I want to go because it looks scary. I'll be fine. I can do it." And all this lot, like, she'd shit her pants. She would.
This is
It's almost like you're doing marketing for a living or something.
That everybody else is doing.
This is the thing, like kids get to a certain age, I think it's like around like 9 to like 10, 11, where there's a certain age where they don't want to do baby rides anymore. And if they see like kids on the post, they'll be like, so I think the kids who will want to do this, who will appeal to them, they want to do the stuff that seems like it's for adults. So I think that's where it comes into. But by everything that they've been saying about it, I don't think this is going to be like, it's going to be a ghost train. And even like the original haunted house was described as a family attraction. Ghost trains have always been scary. Like after they just have. And I think parents will know whether or not their kid will enjoy it or not, basically. I mean, kids still come screaming off and crying off Jewel. You know what I mean? So it's one of them. Like, if kids don't like it, they won't like it. But
mate, I'm in my 30s. And I'm scared of ghost trains. So
I am. Yeah.
So I had seen this mentioned by some other people. Just a little thing in the poster art. I'm not sure if this has anything to do with like the lore behind the original haunted house or anything, but just the for sale sign on the side of the house.
Sparks.
Sparks Estates. So Sparks.
I was wondering what the significance of it was.
The
video, bro.
The original company was Sparks. Oh god, this is really bad because I've read that the book
Keith
on
Sparks,
it.
isn't it?
Keith Sparks, that's it. Keith Sparks Company.
Keith.
Keith. Keith. Yeah, R.I.P.
Let me Wardley, didn't he? A lot.
He was like the main collaborator. His company was the one who made all the animatronics, all the models, and like heavy designed it. Like Professor Bubbleworks as well. Like all them like 90s kind of rides, and Toyland Tours and stuff like that. So it's kind of like a nice little nod to him. And John Burton put a tweet out this week, I think it was, saying if you thought there was a lot of Easter eggs in Gangster Granny,
I saw that.
I
did see that.
It'll take you a whole year to find all the Easter eggs. So I think there's going to be a lot of Easter eggs because John Burton is a proper enthusiast, like a lot of us know. He knows the lore of all these things. So I think there's going to be a lot of that in this attraction. Well, it is because he said it is.
Sure.
Like even down to the like the toy blocks spelling out bad as well.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of things here that's probably relating to some kind of story because this is going to be a story-led ghost train. It's not going to be like Draw where it's just random. random things going on. It's going to be a whole story, which I'm really interested in.
Just a quick plug, Mikhail. If you haven't seen it, I did do a video on like everything you can see in the poster with arrows and went into the lore and stuff of things. So if you are interested in that, you can check that out. Everyone can check that out.
Yeah, this is a point that I saw.
It's just for me.
It's for Mikhail.
I saw a lot of people saying like, why does it look like there's 3 rows of the new trains? But I said a different interpretation of it would be is that someone grabbing onto the back of the train?
Yeah.
Because that could be part of a story. You know, like it could not actually be just a POV of someone riding the train. It could
I think I would prefer it to be that. Honestly, that sounds more interesting.
Well, it's got a brake man.
Because don't get me wrong. It would have been cool to have.
No one's gonna get that. Well, anyone who watches the Drunk Ride as well. But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
We're the chain dogs, McCall.
Thanks. I hadn't noticed.
Yeah, so like, don't get me wrong. Like, I'd love to see some kind of trackless dark ride inside towers, and this would have been a good one to do it with. But when it comes down to it, I'd rather there's nothing wrong with that ride system. It's still a pretty clever ride system.
Yeah,
because the whole point of that whole ride system was that you get on the train thinking it's like Haunted Mansion Doom buggies where they're all just together, the Omni movers,
they split off,
and then suddenly they split off out the station, and that's something that I guess people don't appreciate it that much these days, but like at the time it was kind of like it was ahead of its time, and I still think it has the same effect. So I'd rather them spend like the budget on like just doing the whole thing up and keeping that ride system, because it was running all the time. I mean, I know there's probably issues with it, but I don't think there was anything wrong with that ride system. So
no, I mean it worked, didn't it? It worked, and they can change the speed as well, which is an important thing. And obviously, if they've updated the CPU on it, whatever, then it should be a bit more reliable, more modern, a bit less noisy, probably, maybe. But we'll see.
Maybe, I don't know, but I never
looking forward to it though. I think out of everything coming out this year, this is the one for me. This is.
I just think that Towers have just done a wicked job of it. From like the little sign with the equation about when it was going to close, and then the way it closed, the repossessed, the peepholes, the phone number, and then with all this, I just think they've done such a good job with it. Like they could have just closed it and that was that, and then it reopens when it reopens. But the fact that they've all had all these cool things, I just think they've done such a good job with it. I'm quite sure.
Joe, I was just gonna say, I would love for them to have a broken trommel tunnel in it still.
Oh God!
Or it goes through, it starts to move, and then it shuts down. Like that's actually part of it.
Like that, man, that's the issue. So like, if it opens up and that trommel tunnel isn't fixed, like it's going to overshadow the whole thing, innit? Like
it is, right?
No one's going to give a crap about anything else. On
no,
the ride.
That's
they're going to try.
They're
going to try to disguise the trommel tunnel. So you're like, you can't remember where it is. No, it's somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that was the trommel tunnel, was it?
They need to get that. Like, they need to get that going, because like all anyone wanted for years was just like, can you just get the trommel working, like, and we'll be happy. And then like, we've done a whole new ride, but the trommel tunnel's still broken.
Still broken.
Like.
Or if you go through it, it says being repaired on a sign or something like that. It'd be brilliant.
I mean, I could make it into a joke, but let's just hope that they get it going, man, because it needs to work.
To be a joke.
It needs to work.
I would laugh so hard if it was a joke.
It would just be like, it would be really disheartening.
It would overshare,
because that's all anyone will focus on. That's literally all anyone will focus on.
True.
And like, if all the concept art that we've seen is indicative of just the approach that the ride is going to take, it would be such a mood killer.
Yeah.
like it'd be funny, but it'd just be like, it'd stick out even more.
Yeah. They could put it in a different ride. They could put it in Gangster Granny, just like spinning in the background. I mean, that'd work.
I mean, I don't know. It's one of them. Like at the end of the day, 95% of their guests who do it will not even remember their Trommel being there, and probably won't even notice it.
How dare us?
But I mean, I just look. Just please get it done, please. But anyway,
I am on my hands and knees.
yeah.
Trommel,
Please, just
make it
fix
happen.
it.
Yeah. But no, it's exciting. I'm looking forward
It's
to it,
very
and
exciting.
like what did Matt say? Just read somewhere. I'm gonna be on the edge riding it.
Is that because you're tall?
Yeah. He said they've done a great job, especially balancing the marketing with Nemesis. Yeah, I think it's like story-led marketing of like trying to create a story out of why a ride is like closed.
Yeah.
I just think it's really clever. So I'm here for it.
Well,
This has
he
got
thinks the house looks like a face.
Who said that?
World of Thrills in the chat.
Let's have a look.
Does it? I can't see the face.
Our survey says.
Eh.
No, it looks like a doll's house opening up to me.
I mean, maybe the top two windows are eyes, but I don't know. I don't know. I can't see it personally.
There's someone in that window, though.
There is someone in the window.
Yeah, there's someone in that window.
Emily, is that you?
She's on top of the house.
No, it's Mandy. It's Amanda Thompson.
Ghosts can be in two places at once.
She's just decided to move into towers since they can't
moved
open
in.
Valhalla.
Holding up a sign. Come to Voyage.
Yeah.
I mean, will open at some point.
How impressive is it though that this year? Let's pray that Valhalla will open. But if it does, it is the year of like dark rides in this country, man. We're getting and that's very rare for the UK.
That is true.
We're getting a lot.
The year of dark rides.
Ghost Train, Curse of Alton Manor.
Oh, the year of dark rides.
Valhalla.
The year of present dark rides.
And then we've got Horizon the year after. Like that's inside at some
Mhm.
point, which you know, God knows. But this has got me excited. Like this.
If the rumors about Subterra as well.
Oh yeah,
that
Subterra
opens as well.
Jesus,
that's technically a dark ride.
Well,
but...
yeah, it is. Like that is a dark ride.
So it's exciting. Anyway, let's move.
No! Just one more thing.
Yeah,
John Pagan said they could ask Phantasialand if they could have the scary animatronics from Holiday Tour. I don't like. For
the Hollywood Tour ones.
For anyone who didn't see the photos that got posted,
I didn't see it.
Like there was a bunch of photos posted when it was confirmed that Hollywood Tour wasn't coming back, and like just the animatronic figures like looking all dilapidated and stuff, and just clearly out of use and just ripped out of the building, and they were harrowing. They looked so traumatizing.
Was it as bad as the Pleasure Beach Avalanche Bears when they got?
God.
Oh,
I don't remember those.
It was
like Terminator.
Bears, yeah. Oh my God.
Like fucking Terminator.
It was just like a bear shell with like big eyeballs.
God.
Yeah, it was literally just the eyeballs.
It was like 2020, weren't it? And like someone like commented on Amanda's tweet and said, "Where are the Avalanche Bears?" And she was like, "I don't know, but I'll track him down." And a few hours later, she found him in the workshop, and it was just them without the fur on the. Oh mate, it was like Friday.
Oh my God.
Five Nights at Freddy.
Five Nights at Freddy. It was like it was horrible. I can't look at them bears the same way now.
No,
I just think of that photo every time.
Like,
I'm gonna have to track this photo down.
Yeah, it's there.
I do because it's horrific.
But let's move on.
Anyway, yeah.
So there's a lot of wooden coasters getting retracked at the minute. Don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah.
Obviously the big shock I think was that the announcement of Megaphobia getting retracked.
That came out of nowhere.
That came out of nowhere, did that shit?
That was the biggest
We're
surprise
doing
of all.
this and we're doing it now. Like,
yeah, it was like a jump scare, wasn't it? I was like, what the hell? What's going on here?
At first, I thought they were demolishing it. Because I saw pictures.
look
I
at
didn't
that.
read. I just saw the track missing. I was like,
They
Wow.
probably
So-
don't, are they?
So these are from Gravity Group's Facebook page. I don't know who the original. I'm guessing they got commissioned
They're
them or
doing
something.
loads.
But yeah, so 40% of the coaster is getting retracked.
Wow.
Good.
The first and second drop are
Nice.
definitely getting retracked. The first drop being a lot steeper, so very similar to Grizzly
More
that we was talking
steeper.
You
about.
what?
You can't make it more steeper. I was stood up.
Yeah.
It's-
see,
that's-
I've not done Megaphobia.
How steep that
so-
drop already is.
Yeah,
Go!
They're making it steeper.
God.
That's crazy.
This is
That means it's gonna whip.
according to Oakwood's blog post they did about it.
I
Right.
shall
It's
be
gonna cost
pulling that
them-
seatbelt well tight.
Yeah, $2 million. Don't know what they did in dollars, but they said it's $2 million. It's going to cost
Wales in it.
Wales.
Whales in it. Whales in it.
Wow. Yeah,
do
so
what they want.
they're using the engineered pre-cut track, which Gravity Group are using on pretty much all their retracks now. We know that, yeah, so they anticipate it to be done by early May, but that's unclear whether the construction's gonna be done by early May and then testing, or it's gonna open early May. We don't know, but it's gonna be soon, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. Like, so I'll just show some of these photos as well.
Oh,
so,
that
yeah.
did in the back section as well. Nice.
40% of the track, man.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot. Yeah.
I wonder if they're planning to do the rest like later on, maybe next year. Like,
I mean, they'll probably. I mean, if they're not doing the other, if they're only doing 40%, to me that means that the rest is like kind of, it's not that urgent. Like, it's fine. It's just going to be the places where the forces are, isn't it?
I've just
The
thought
high
of
stress
something.
areas, yeah.
I've just thought of something. Like, John Wardley is getting so much love this year. Like, Megaphobia, Nemesis, Haunted House.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on. Like,
Yeah.
these are all attractions that he was involved with heavily. And it's just like the theme park industry in the UK has just gone, right, these are perfect. Let's just do them up a bit.
Now retrack
Lovely.
Dragon Khan and be done with it.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Legit. Yeah, new trains.
I can't even talk. I've not
retrack.
ridden it for like 7 years now, so I don't even
It's
know.
good, but it's a bit.
It's bad.
It's good, but it's a bit. Yeah, the layout's great, but the
layout's great, but I did it last year. No, the year before, 2021, and it was bad. Like, it was bad.
Has it gotten bad?
I rode
It's
it.
really bad.
I rode it in 2020 when the parks opened up in the July?
Yeah.
Was that
Yes.
2020?
Yeah.
The last few years-
Megaphobia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was my number one UK bucket list coaster, and I was so fucking hyped. And
Yeah.
I could have cried at how bad it was. It was shit. And it was so slow, and I thought we were going to stall. The first drop was wicked, but it was just not making it around the layout. And honest to God, I could have cried because, I had all this hype for it, and everyone said how wicked it was. And I was just like, I was legitimately devastated.
That's such a shame because
Yeah,
I rode it.
I think it was Chris Arms that actually commented on the post afterwards, because he obviously doesn't live far from it. And he said he rode it the week after us, and he was like, yeah, it's shit. There's something wrong. It's not right. Like, it was awful. So I'm glad, that it just wasn't just progressively shit from then on, because Sean, you rode it after me and you said it was wicked.
Yes,
But
we had like the opposite.
it was awful.
We had the opposite problem. Like, it was running really like fast because it was a hot day. But like, we rode it, the first time we rode it was like the middle of the train, and then the back, and then like, because it was just like, we were just getting unlucky. It was a pretty quiet day, but it was like they were really slow loading. Everywhere else was like really quick loading, but on this they were so slow. Just because they was running it on one train. That's why it was. But then like at the end of the day, I basically went, can we go to the front? Because basically what they were doing was, it happened like 3 times. Like, we'd be at the front of the queue and they would send us to the back of the train.
Yeah, they do.
And I'm like,
Oh, did they load from the back to the front?
yeah, load from the back. And I'm like, what sadist does that? Like, that is not the way it works in my books. Like,
Honestly, my first ride was front row.
yeah,
My first ever ride was front row, so I was well excited because I was with Lola. She wanted to sit at the front, and honest to God, I literally sat holding on to the front of the train at some point. It's like shuffling my bum as if to be like, "Come on!" Like, it was
that's mad.
That's
crazy because like I rode it in 2021 in September 2021 on a rainy day, and
rainy days.
It flew. It was so good. It's my favorite wooden coaster in the UK because of how it rode on that rainy day in September. I've got a bunch of rides. I got a bunch of rides on it, front, back, everywhere in the middle, everywhere else. And it's the same layout as Renegade at Alabama Adventure, and it took me all the way back to those rides I got on that a couple of years prior. And it was so good, man.
So because we was because I was loading from the back, we did a bunch of rides and then we come back to it, and then we was at the front of the queue again because there's hardly anyone doing it, and he was to the back, and I was like, look, can we just go to the front? And he was like, no. I was like, mate, I've driven 6 hours to get here and I've got a 6-hour journey back home. I was like, I've never done this before, can you just give us a front ride? And he went, okay. He was like, well, arsey about it, but he was just like, okay. So we did that at the front, and it was fucking incredible. It honestly was so good. And if it wasn't for them previous rides I had at the back and the middle train where it was just unbearably rough, it was worse than Grand National, but at the front it was absolutely fine. But we had that ride and it was incredible. So it just proves to me that it can be an amazing coaster, and I understand why everyone it's one of my bucket list coasters in the UK. Well, probably bucket list coaster anywhere, because it was just I could never get around to going to Wales because it's such an epic journey.
Yeah,
epic journey is
an epic journey.
It's literally 6 hours.
No, it is.
I was going to say I can get to
nowhere.
I just found it funny to describe it as an epic journey, but it
literally is. I can get to Fantasia
going on an
adventure.
Time.
So it was just so I'm really excited about this just because it just blew my mind that they were even doing it. It was more likely before this that they were going to tear it down than they would spend 2 million Oakwood, because who they're owned by, is it Aspro Parks, that just own a bunch of water parks in Spain and various places. So they're not really in the theme park game that much. They've got a couple of family parks and stuff and water parks, but it seems I don't know, is this a sign that there's more kind of money coming into Oakwood? Because it's got the potential to be an amazing park. That place has. Me and Joe had a great day there. People really,
is a wicked coaster.
It's fucking phenomenal.
But it's just the way that park is set up on a bit of a the way that park is set up on a kind of a bit of a hill and a valleys and stuff. It looked when we went, it was really sunny, and it was just I could just see the potential of the park.
There's a lot of room for it. We could do so much.
And they've been doing a lot.
It needs one major more A-list attraction, I think, and it will be on the
I think
radar.
after this they need to get a big they need to do it'll probably be a gravity group ground up, maybe a gravity group hybrid. Imagine if they did that.
Imagine.
That would be cool.
So
they could. They got so much room, James.
Just to switch back to the topic a little bit, the gravity group pre-cut retracking. How many is that now that we've seen?
Well, what we know of is we know that Racer. Racer.
Racer.
We know Beast, Grizzly,
and now Megaphobia,
and the Voyage, which is
the Voyage. Yeah.
So the Voyage is getting 25% of their track.
That's equivalent to 100% of Megaphobia.
But only
it could be.
But only some of it is going to be this vertical track. A lot of it they're still going to be using the peekaboo hill thing. I think that is going to be just a normal horizontal wooden track, but then some of it I guess, like the end turnaround. But they released this amazing video.
I was just about to say, was that a term that they used in that video you linked?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
The peekaboo hill.
Peekaboo. That's what they called it.
I didn't know they called it that.
I didn't. I've never rode it, so I didn't. But that's what they called it. But yeah, like they made this epic video basically. Video. Can you hear the video?
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is the safety turn, the brake area.
Yeah, but it's all laggy as usual.
Is it?
That's all got to be redone. All 8 layers. The hill, drop hill, the valley, going up the second hill, and part of the way down the second hill. And then we have the peekaboo area. It goes
That makes sense.
I had a feeling it was that hill that we're talking about.
We have to get engineers involved, which is Gravity Group, which they do their surveying, which that tells us our new bank angles. We have different center lines we have to go off of. We do all 8 layers of the track, ledgers, track ties. On this last turn on Voyage here, the pre-track is going to be different. It's called the horizontal track. Basically, it's all milled in their shop. It's all done in the machine. Some of your holes are pre-drilled already. The first layer is going to be prefabbed out of their shop. It's milled down to their spec of the curvature of the track. The 7th and 8th is the same way. And we're doing a traditional way 2 through 6. They got arrows pointing the direction where the track flows, where we got to put the track down. It's almost like a puzzle. You're putting a puzzle together, and basically it's what it is. On the hill, that's called the vertical track. It's not our traditional way. Like we lay our boards flat. This is be on the end. Like you
wow.
So that's a great example. Of
Yeah.
this vertical pre-cut track that Gravity Group are doing, where it just shows you like how strong it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think this is an interesting case study in terms of like a coaster that are retracking, but they want some of it in the traditional way, because I'm guessing it adds something to the ride of it being a little bit more, rather than just being pure solid.
Yeah.
But yeah, that just shows you really like the difference between.
They're gonna be 5 wide, glued nailed, 5 wide. On the last
a guy standing on the horizontal way they used to do it, and it flexes. Well, then on the new vertical version, it doesn't move at all. Literally, it doesn't move.
Which provides some insight into the strategy behind the areas which they'll use the vertical, the vertical pre-cut method versus the improved horizontal method. Because, like, I mean, as you saw in the video, like on the horizontal formation of it, that's still using prefabricated beams as well. Like so it it looks like they're taking pre-cut principles and practices and applying it to both methods.
Way of doing it.
Which is really interesting, like to see how sort of like what's like forensic they get, like really intricate they get into both methods, and it's good to see that they're not just discarding one method for another.
And you say this vertical, which you can see on the left, is the one that 40% of Megaphobia is going to be retracked with. So, for us in the UK, we can actually go and experience this year and see what it's like, because and that's just massively exciting for me because I thought it'd be a while until I could experience.
Oh, sure, thinking about that.
Track is, and it's going to be in this country, so
we actually can't we? That's mad. Thinking about it. No, that's mad. We were talking about it a couple of weeks ago.
Definitely have to let us know how it rides.
That's what blew my mind. Was like we were talking about Grizzly, this whole thing, and then now it's like coming to Megaphobia. Like, are we in an alternative universe?
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense. Like, how is this happening?
It just came out of nowhere. And this is the point I was going to make as well, just about like how evidently now how much traction Gravity Group has gained with these new vertical
United Kingdom
methods.
United Kingdom, Joe, it's
Wales.
Yeah, but it's United Kingdom.
Bring your dollars.
Everyone make sure you bring your passport.
Just how quickly Gravity Group is getting around with these pre-cut retracking methods on old wooden coasters versus how long it's taken GCI to really get their Titan track methods out there. We saw so much promotion and marketing of the Titan track method, both online and multiple IAPA expos and stuff. And in comparison, hardly anything has been said about, you know, Gravity Group's pre-cut methods, and yet
proofs in the pudding, bro.
Multiple parks are bringing them in to rejuvenate old wooden coasters. It's just really interesting to see how successful each is going to be compared to each other.
Yeah, it's like Gravity Group have filled this hole that only RMC were filling for a little while, where they're just like, what do we do with this, like this wooden coaster that is costing us loads of money to keep retracking? Like, I can't remember it. I mean, I haven't heard it officially, but apparently what Holiday World have said is, you know, the reason I can't keep investing in new major coasters is because they have to retrack of the Voyage every year. They basically have to they spend so much money on just keeping that going that hopefully this solution of the vertical pre-cut engineered track is gonna, like, you know, help them, you know, help this coaster not be so, I don't know, like a
maintenance dependent every year, and like it's not like they enlist Gravity Group specifically to come and do it every year. That's I don't know whether Gravity Group collaborates with whatever maintenance team that Holiday World has, or if it is entirely Gravity Group doing the whole thing. But like either way, it can't be cheap. Like,
well done, Carl,
for them to do it.
Let's give Carl a clap.
Hey, nice job.
Is it still raining? That's the important question.
What he hasn't said is he actually walked the last bit of it.
Good to see you escape the clowns.
What I just hope though is
have a beer, Carl. Sorry.
Yeah, have a
Carl's
beer,
had
mate.
a beer from all of January. Sit down and have a beer. Get a take.
Have a beer, lad.
Have a beer,
Relax.
mate. You've had a run. Have one. But what I hope that, you know, I don't want to be like get myself on like a pedestal or whatever, but I'm just saying, I hope if you care about like investment in this country and like theme parks as a whole, like that everyone just goes to Oakwood after this £2 million investment.
Yeah, well, Chris Arms just said in, like, obviously these are on there, and he's just said, I think it's make or break for them. Like, if this doesn't bring more people in, then you could see the park going up for sale, really, couldn't you? Because
I'm going.
there's no one there.
I'm going to go. As soon as it opens, I'm going to go. Definitely.
You'd hope that this brings not just enthusiasts, because obviously all enthusiasts want to go and see the difference, but you just hope that, you know, it kind of brings a whole lease of life into the park. Because, like you said, Sean, Oakwood is a nice park. Yeah, you know, so it's a bit odd, but I enjoyed it. I had a brilliant day. Like, if it was closer, I'd be there loads. But, you know, I think with where it is as well doesn't help. But
it needs to be. They need to make it into like a multiple day park. They need to have, like, because of the way it is, it's like Alton Tower, it's in the middle of nowhere. So they build hotels, you know, and they make it into this resort, and that's kind of what Oakwood need to do. It's just to make it into like a proper, not just go there and camp or like go into the local caravan park or whatever, but like build. I don't know, like if you build it, they will come. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's just what happens. So
on the complete other end of the spectrum of that is Silver Dollar City. That park is in the armpit of America. But the park is that good. It's one of my favorites that I've ever been to. The park is that good that they do insanely well every year in financially. They have all of the like attractions in nearby Branson, Missouri to help as well. And there's a water park there. It's owned by Hirschend Parks and Entertainment, which obviously helps. But yeah, like that park is one of the most far-flung parks I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And yet every single year I'm plotting about how I can get back there.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's good.
I think with Oakwood, it's I don't know. I'm not saying I'm disagreeing with like what Chris said in terms of this is make or break. I just don't think a company would invest £2 million as a marketing strategy. I just don't think they will. I think what that tells us is they do have very successful water parks all over Europe. I feel like they're just like, okay, let's put a major push into Oakwood.
Yeah.
And they've, unlike Water Valley, where they just went, the new owners just went, let's tear this thing down. They've actually see the significance of this ride.
Yeah.
And how it would actually hurt them if they'd let it not run.
Mm-hmm.
So I think
if Megaphobia went, then there's literally 0 point of going to Oakwood.
There's nothing. There's no point. There's no point. And
I mean, I'd go and ride Drenched for the meme.
It's a long journey.
I'm very much joking. No, I wouldn't.
Brilliant ride.
If Drenched was the only ride there's no chance in hell I would go.
A great ride though. That drops.
It looks terrifying.
To me, though,
it's so funny.
To me, though, it just seems like there's much more investment coming.
I hope so.
A bit how like Merlin, they announced these they've announced Nemesis Retrack, and it was like, okay, this is interesting. There's these little signs there. It's just like, okay, we're investing more. There's money coming from somewhere, and I just think they'll probably push more into that park. But anyway,
I suppose you could look at it like Lupin's group, really, like what they've done with Drayton. They're kind of gone, right, we need to push the money into this park, because let's be honest, Drayton wasn't doing great at one point. It was a bit stagnant, wasn't it?
Right, it was gone into a mission, weren't it?
Well,
it was gonna go. It was good.
And Lupin's have come along. Obviously, not that no one's going to buy Oakwood out, but you'd hope that they're getting this money in from these other successful water parks and whatever, and they go, right, we can do something with Oakwood now, so let's sort Megaphobia out so it's fucking brilliant again. And then in years to come, obviously it'd be nice to see them do like a Lupin's thing with it, and just put that extra bit into it.
I think the difference with Oakwood, they're very similar in terms of Drayton, where they need a bit of TLC on a lot of the areas, but they have the family market sorted in a way. They've got enough rides there to be like, okay, there's enough here for families. They now need to just bring it all together, because everything's very spaced out and kind of I don't know. They need to. I don't know what it is. I think if they went down the route of like a kind of going down the Butlins route of just creating a load of just make it into a holiday park, a proper holiday park. Get all the
camping. You know what I mean? Because you, like you say, it's so far away. If you could stay over and make a weekend of it,
but I think
that second day revenue of people going again.
But even camping, people are not into not many people are into camping these days. People like the glamping.
Do a glamping site and stuff.
Get some sheds, bro.
But they started doing all the fireworks shows, which looked really impressive. Yeah, and they started doing all the events. So they just need to up that entertainment factor of shows and just things for families to do. And if they keep up in that, but then supply some kind of accommodation, I feel like they could nail, because it's not enthusiasts they necessarily need to attract. It's just people looking for a family holiday in Wales. And why would you choose that? Yeah, why would you choose that over anywhere else in Wales, basically? So
I can think of many reasons in Wales, but I wonder.
Wales is a lovely country. Can we stop dissing Wales?
Yeah, but there's not many theme parks, right? Though
I won't stand for this.
But it is a lovely country to go visit.
I used to go every year, in the 6-week holidays. I love Wales. But the thing is, with this, I wonder if they're hoping, off guest feedback, that everyone's been like you, Emma, might have had that ride that was really shit and really rough and horrible. And they've gone, this is our main attraction. We need to look after this. And now they're doing it. They want people to ride it and go, oh, okay, cool. I can always come here and ride this ride now. It's reliable. It doesn't hurt anymore. It's smooth. It's fun. Hopefully that brings it back to its heyday. So we'll see.
Also, Out on Back Travel said they built a Centre Parks next door.
They did.
Yeah, that costs about 10 grand to stay there. There are bloody Centre Parks, isn't it? It's not an affordable.
It's not the right. Centre Parks is not going to be attracting the right market. I mean, it'll probably help a little bit, but people go to Centre Parks to stay in a self-contained resort. And I've been to Centre Parks a few times, and it's all in one thing, and it's not about the family entertainment. It's about activities,
Yeah, I went to Centre Parks and I didn't leave Centre Parks to go do other things. I was in Centre Parks. You know what I mean?
You stay there. That's the
you
whole
don't
point of it.
go out because there's enough to do. So
if Oakwood build their own accommodation and then make it an all-encompassing resort, which is what every single theme park in the UK is trying to go down. It's just like, that's why they're building so many hotels. Warwick Castle's getting another hotel, like a proper actual hotel.
Wow.
Rather than, because they've got the Knights Village, which is like all the wooden lodges, but then they're getting an actual hotel.
Awesome.
So that's the way they're going, and that's a castle. So that's what they need to do. To give it the same way Centre Parks do it. Don't give people a reason to leave. Same with Alton Towers. You go to Alton Towers, you don't go, we're going to go to Alton Towers and then go down to Hanley for the day. It's like you're there for 2 days. You know what I mean? At least, So anyway, we're on 9 o'clock, so we need to get moving. That was a long segment. So Troy is also getting a retrack.
I love Troy so much.
It's honestly my favorite wooden coaster.
Yeah, it's fucking wicked.
It's so good.
Troy is high on my bucket list.
Wodan was good, but Wodan was good, but it doesn't hold a flame to this thing. Like honestly, so here's. There's not really been. I haven't really read much into it, to be honest. But here's some pictures. So the fly-through bit is getting completely retracked.
That's so good. Oh.
It says Toverland announced it, saying Toverland is hibernating for a while, but we're not sitting still. This is how Troy gets the biggest overhaul ever. Among other things, the fly-through the station will be completely renewed. I haven't read the article because I only saw this today because I only got announced today. But yeah, I don't think it's I haven't read it, but I don't think it's getting tightened unless anyone's read it and knows it's getting tightened.
No, I don't think it is.
I don't want it to get tightened. That would be horrible.
Which, going back to my earlier point, for Troy and Wodan to both be getting retracked, and neither of them are using Titan track for it. Yeah, that's telling to me. That's very telling of something.
It's getting a brand new chain as well, replacement chain. Wow. Due to the millions of rides that the roller coaster gives away, they're necessary to replace these types of things. So yeah, it's there's a lot going on. So that's Troy. Honestly, this thing is just so good.
I'm going to ride it, and it's just not even going to hold a flame to the rides that I had on it. I was so lucky when we went. They'd literally just run a 24-hour marathon. Yes. So they took the trains off for half an hour to kind of inspect them and put them straight back on. And that thing was ridiculous. And now I'm just like, I'm going to ride it again. It's not going to be that good because it's not warmed up for 24 hours.
Honestly, I mean, it might have been different to when you were doing it because you would have been getting like night ride style rides in it. But like me and Joe, we did 2 days at Toverland, and it's the first thing we did every day. And even like as soon as it opened, we were on it, and we were like, "What the hell is this?"
It hauls ass, man. It moves.
It's crazy, and it just gets faster throughout the day. Like it's so incredible.
We done 10 back-to-back rides, and I could have sat there for 10 more, but my thighs were purple.
Yeah,
it is wild.
Nice. So talking of Wodan, that's also getting some retrack done to it as well. Do you mention a video, Emma?
There's a TikTok. Would you like me to send you the link so you can?
Yeah, send me the link and I'll get it up.
Bear with 30 seconds.
What was it about? What was the video?
It was just showing a little bit of work going on.
It was actually quite a good little video. I think I've seen that. It's actually quite well done as well. No, it's worth showing this, I think.
Okay, I'm gonna send it to you on WhatsApp, Sean, because it's easier.
It's not for me because hold on.
I don't know. I'm not technically minded, so it's going to you. Do what you will with it.
Hello, people.
What you will.
Giggling on air.
Ads in the comments said GCI often retract with Ironwood, and Wickerman's getting the same, which is interesting. Titan, yeah, like Titan is all steel, and should be viewed more as something more akin to the RMC iBox track. But like, I thought GCI retracked with the same southern yellow pine that they always have, or did they change that recently? I don't know.
Work is being done.
Big brain.
Look at those saws go.
I just find it so funny. It's just a chainsaw to the ride. And
Oh, Jesus.
and an axe, as you do. Is that a sledgehammer?
Sledgehammer.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
So
Work
yeah,
is being done.
work done. Well done. Voltron in the same park.
Speaking
Yes.
of Europa Park.
That must be a
Yes.
busy site. A lot going on.
So who wants to talk about this? I'll get the images up.
Right, so yeah, Voltron, the new Mark Big Dipper coaster, going to Europa Park, of all places. Where else? It's just photos of the track and supports being installed. Like it's gone vertical over the past few days. And I think from what I heard, this is a section somewhere in the middle of the out and back, just of the layout. There's like a section where obviously it'll come out, it'll turn around and go, and like they pass close by each other. I think if I'm remembering correctly. So yeah, this is it's supposed to be that sort of like one of the far out areas of the track, which is an interesting place for them to start installing track. But you do you. It's funny because the track has a double spine on it. They're taking that same double spine approach that Intamin has, only this spine is not only being applied to the tri-tube track design instead of completely redesigning the whole bulkier spine approach that Intamin took.
Yeah.
So it looks a bit funny just on on first glance that way. But then also the double spine is much smaller. So it's much,
it almost doesn't look
narrow,
as thick as normal one, does it?
Yeah.
I'd said that it doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing. Almost looks like Golden Horse.
You know what? You're not wrong. Does
It doesn't look as.
Wait, did Europa Park hire the wrong company?
What, rather than their own?
Yeah.
Golden Horse just snuck on site while Mac were away. Just started building.
It's weird. It's very strange. It doesn't look as good.
Laura says, "Is it a cost-cutting measure with the cost of Seal Islander?"
Could be.
Could be.
I don't know.
I can't see how that wouldn't equate. I mean,
but it's braced, isn't it? In between as well. There's bracings in between.
I couldn't see it cost saving that much when you're
Not in this
spending so
particular
much.
case.
When you start spending millions, if you have access to that type of money, it's not really going to be saving that much money.
I wonder if it's a construction thing, because the way the connectors are on that track is different. They're on either side of the spine at the bottom, where the bracing is through the middle. So I wonder if it's just an easier installation method, quicker maybe.
It'll be some. There's obviously a reason for it, and if they're going to try this stuff out, they test it in their own park, right?
Yep.
So yeah, it could be.
We'll see. I'm sure they'll tell us at some point.
It's just obviously there are other reasons for Like there's always other reasons which like as soon as you hear them, you're just like, oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But like from my limited knowledge, like Intamin's double spine is literally so they can cut down costs on installing supports. Like you only have to look at Velocicoaster. Like its second half is over pathways, it's over other sections of service areas, it's over water. Like they couldn't afford to put in so many supports in that area. So the double spine being so much stronger and thicker, it can be
Lights.
used in there for like really effectively. This with the spines being so much smaller, I'm not sure how it really has the same effect. But again, like we said,
yeah.
I just read on Europa's post, someone put it could be used for lights, but also Matt said it in the chat as well, which is a very good point. It could be used for lights, installing LEDs with the gap.
yeah, perhaps.
True.
Be cool. But it looks cool.
It just looks funny being being used on the tri-tube track method.
I think it might just look funny because it's one piece of track in a barren area with a couple of supports. I think once it's all in there, I think it might not look as. But it's too contrasty at the moment.
Moving on.
Moving on.
We got super nerdy. My apologies.
Yeah.
Speaking of nerdy,
Mindbender, take it away.
No, rest in peace.
No. Yeah, I had stumbled across an article or a video that announced that Mindbender at Galaxyland, the indoor park at West Edmonton Mall in Edmonton in Canada, is being retired. It's being closed. It's apparently being permanently removed, which I'm actually really sad about because I wanted to go and ride this. Like I really wanted to go and ride it.
I think they used the term out of commission. I think that's what they used on their post.
Perhaps, yeah.
But that's sad.
It's just another massive Schwarzkopf multi-looping coaster that's now done for.
That had insane G-forces, apparently.
Yeah,
it did. Yeah,
it's supposed to be, in terms of positive G's, it's supposed to be one of the most intense coasters in the world.
We was actually briefly talking about it, so I mentioned this.
Yeah, literally just
ago. We were talking.
It wasn't even a couple of weeks ago. It was like less than a week ago.
We
were talking about it. It's closed.
Like this is one of the ones that I was most looking forward to getting out. Like upon moving over here, I finally get to go to finally be in close enough proximity to Mindbender to where I could just take a quick flight over there and go ride it, but apparently not. So,
is it like dead now, or have they given a date?
Yeah.
Like, is it gone completely?
It's been closed for I don't know how long. No.
So you couldn't have made the pilgrimage before.
I was hoping they would be able to get it back open, but apparently not. That's pretty much all. That's pretty much all I saw. It's sad. Like I'm quite sad about it.
So there was a version of this at Flamingo Land, wasn't there? I can't remember what it was called now.
Yeah, Magnum Force.
Magnum Force. That's it.
Yeah.
It was very similar.
Which was great.
Yeah, very similar G-forces and stuff. It's slightly mirrored in a way, but
yeah, like it's quite similar in the sense that it had 3 vertical loops as well, and the rest of the layout was quite similar. Not exactly the same. There were some differences, but it was similar. But I think Mindbender was scaled up a bit more as well. Like it's a bit bigger, a bit faster.
Does look taller. Tall ride.
Yeah. Magnum Force is now going to be I can't remember what Indiana Beach is deciding to call it, but
it's I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So
5.6 Gs, by the way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a beast. A beast.
Right?
It's been down quite a lot, though, hasn't it? For like a long time. Like,
it's been closed for I want to say more than a year
it?
now.
More than a year.
Yeah,
And even
sad
before that,
incidents as well.
it was like rare. I remember trying to watch vlogs of people at the place.
Trying to
just
get on it.
Just because it was like a bizarre place that it had that in it.
Yeah.
It's just in the
What
middle
year
of
did
it.
it open again?
I just had it open.
Sometime in the 1980s it opened, I think. I think it was 85.
Wow.
85. I'm just going to move on because we need to get onto the main topic, and I also need to do my my quick trip report.
Yeah, to be fair.
So, right, Pleasure Beach have announced they have started a fan club, the Pleasure Beach Fan Club, and I'm not going to play the video, but I loved seeing Andy Highgate's video introducing it.
I loved
it. Legend.
It was so
you
cool.
what?
I loved him in his little chair. It was so cool.
Yeah.
It was proper excited.
Yeah, honestly, yeah, he's an absolute legend. But yeah, this is their new Pleasure Beach fan club, and I'm kind of just gonna say, like, I don't know, the elephant in the room. Shall we discuss it? Is obviously now Pleasure Beach Experience were they were linked very heavily to, if you look into the history. I mean, Scott from Your Experience Guide, which were Pleasure Beach Experience, he explained how they started off as like kind of the official fan club.
Yeah, they were called Pleasure Beach, weren't they?
They called Pleasure Beach, and they kind of took it on. So I guess this was kind of inevitable that this was going to happen in terms of now Pleasure Beach Experience is no more because it's
they've handed called Pleasure Beach back.
They've handed it back. So this is like, I think this was always going to happen, sort of thing. So,
but Your Experience Guide is still trying to run events there, though.
They will, they still will. Like you know, any other club run events there. You know, it's just this is gonna. I don't know. I'm guessing like if it's their own if it's their own club, there's just going to be kind of there's going to be experiences here that like you're not really going to get in other clubs. I guess is how they're gonna.
Yeah, they can kind of do their thing, can't they? They can do what they want to whatever degree they want.
But it's interesting. So what is the Pleasure Beach fan club? So being a Pleasure Beach fan club member gives you, which also is free to join as well, you just sign up. It gives you access to members only events, expert guided tours, and behind the scenes sneak peeks around Blackpool Pleasure Beach, exclusive content and newsletters only available to members, and unique range of retail merchandise for fans. And they've already released their events for this year. I don't know if there's going to be more. But the first one is going to be on the 26th of March, called Grand Day Out. And that is a walk around Wallace and Gromit's Thrill-O-Matic and underneath Derby Racer. And it's £25 per person, which is pretty good value, I think. I think that's a pretty good.
Like, I was expecting a lot more than
that. Considering how much they run some of their, like, you know, Walk the Woodies and stuff.
You know how much Enzo is, bro. Nothing else.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That's a good point. But yeah, so that's going to be on the 26th of March. We discussed it earlier, didn't we, Emma? In terms of like, we wish it wasn't that date.
Yeah, it's the week after opening, isn't it? And it's the week kind of like, because everything opens at the same time this year with Pleasure Beach, you know, pushing back their opening. I'm going to Pleasure Beach for opening weekend. I kind of want to go somewhere else the week after, and it's disappointing that this is the week after because it's like I wanted to go somewhere else.
Even if they left it like 2 weeks, like it would have been more. I probably would have done it, but because it is like, I'm not gonna, like, for me as well, it's like a 2-hour journey. Like, if I'm gonna go and do something like this, I'll make a day out of it. I'll make a weekend out of it. If anything, I'll treat it like it was the Pleasure Beach Experience weekenders, where you just have your own weekend and then you just do the scheduled walk around stuff. So yeah, it's kind of a shame that they've done it the weekend after. And then on the Saturday, 12th of August, they have Behind the Onion.
They confirmed it's an onion. They
confirmed it's an onion.
Well, you know what? When I did Walk the Woody, we went round with Andy. He said that it is known as the onion or the teardrop.
I'm not having it.
That's what he said. He said the official name is the Onion, but it's also named as Teardrop. So Big Dipper behind the scenes and a unique photo opportunity on the far side steps of Revolution. So there we go. £25 per person. So yeah,
Chris Ryan, get on it. Get that camera ready.
yeah. So what do we think? Because I think it's pretty cool. You know,
I think it's super cool.
It's not as it's not going to be the same as doing like a Pleasure Beach experience.
No,
when they did it, because that was like 2 days.
Event.
Yeah, it's like 2 days of. Well, there's always something on the Friday as well, weren't it? Even if it's like the last ride on Big One or something. Looking at unofficial.
Yeah, it's just going to be like that set hour or 2 hours out of your day. It's not going to be like a full thing.
It'll be when the park's closed, won't it? I reckon as well.
Yeah,
it'll probably be a similar setup to when you walk the Big One, for example. Like you'll go to an area, you'll meet up, and then you'll get your time slots. Possibly, if there's going to be a lot of people there, and you'll be grouped up and put through. That's probably how it's going to happen, and then you'll just be on your way. But it's a cool thing. What they're offering is pretty cool. Like the full walk around Wallace Gromit, that's not going to take 5 minutes. That's going to take quite a while to get around, especially with a lot of groups and stuff. So they're thinking
they'll split the groups, won't they, or something?
That's a lot of value for duration as well, like in the event, which I think is pretty cool. I do like it. I wonder if they do anything with Valhalla though. That'd be sick.
It brings this kind of thing because obviously, like with Coastal Club events and stuff, and like we're all nerds. And you can do quite a lot of this stuff at different parks because you know of the coastal clubs and stuff. Whereas this being advertised on their website and on their socials and stuff kind of brings these experiences to people that probably never knew they existed.
Yeah.
General people that enjoy going to Pleasure Beach that aren't necessarily big fat nerds like the rest of us. Like it opens it up to a wider range of people, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah.
Which that will have been like the original intention of the original club Pleasure Beach, right? Like back in the 90s before it was taken on by Pleasure Beach Experience.
Wait, can I just say no, who mocked Kira?
No one.
You didn't have Kira because like I say, I know for a fact that it is referred to in-house as the Onion. I do think it's weird still, but it's definitely known as the Onion.
Always going to be weird. Yeah,
it definitely is. It definitely is known as the Onion.
The Onion.
I don't remember that happening. But
no, I don't. But I think
Apologies,
this is just going to be a tester. But I think if they really want to. If they want to separate this out as being just like a kind of a walk the Woody or walk the Big One, they need to make it like a full, like a couple of things throughout like a day.
Yeah,
maybe like one day, like something in the morning, something in the afternoon, and then something after the park closes. Because, like it I don't know. It seems like you say, it's just offering a couple of experience, really one experience, because like underneath Derby Racer, that's not going to be, that's not a crazy thing to do. Even though it was cool when we did that walk around the actual Grand Prix, that was pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. It's cool. I just want to see more things added to it for it to actually be like a day out. You know what I mean?
I wonder if this is going to be like, in a couple of years' time, it's going to be like the Universal VIP tour kind of thing, where you get someone and they take you around and give you a history of the park. Because there's enough history there to do it. You could do it. Someone who's never been before, you could definitely have a tour guide go around there for the day.
They probably have more. They probably have more ideas for things to add in due time, depending on demand. Which it's supposed to be free to sign up, right?
Yeah.
These specific things are going to obviously cost £25 per person or whatever. But,
meet Mandy.
But like with it being free to sign up and anyone basically can sign up, like depending on demand, like that in itself should bring a lot of attention to people.
Well, that's it.
Oh my god!
Water, really?
Yeah. You do a hot ice lesson.
A hot ice lesson.
The hot ice lesson with Mandy.
That
is a new machine.
sell tickets in it. You know what I mean? Whereas you're opening this up, they're just testing the water kind of thing to see, outside of the nerds, are other people willing to kind of do this thing? And it probably will step up like next year after, you know what I mean? Like for them to be doing it themselves, they're just kind of seeing what's what, I suppose.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think, it'd be really cool. I just, we'll see how it goes. It's just like if they're making a big deal about this, I think it's going to be hopefully a big thing. And I'd love to see more parks like have like an official fan club, do exclusive walk around stuff. I don't know. I just think it's really cool, and if anything, when we go on these coaster club events, you see people of all ages, and there's so many young kids who come to these events. That will stick with them forever.
Yeah,
and it forces a loyalty like nothing else would. You know what I mean? To want to do these type of things into the park and stuff. So it's a really good marketing exercise looking at it from that side of things.
For sure.
But yeah, cool. So that's that. And just haven't got any pictures, but we're going to say this anyway. It looks as if Mandrill Mayhem is going to have vest restraints from the pictures we've seen. And that's that.
Sweet. Anyway.
Anyway.
So, an hour and a half later, after now that we're done with the news.
Keep it snappy, Sean. Come on, it's your time. Let's go.
We went to Fantasia Land. It was really good. Moving on.
Where's Taron?
No, right. So first of all, I just want to say, like, I feel really guilty saying this in front of Emma because obviously, like, Emma should have been there. Really.
Jerry. Carry on.
No, we made a separate WhatsApp group just so.
Oh, did you really? Carry on.
Joking. I did feel bad because we just put in.
Yeah, you better add.
Your fault. Your fault.
No, it's not my fault.
You should have come.
What I wanted to, but you have to be awkward about it, didn't you? Go on, keep going, Sean. Tell us about your trip. I can't wait to hear it.
Tell us about your little trip.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got that power, Emma. So yeah, I just want to say, like, out of all the trips I've done, like, this was probably my favorite trip I've ever done. Like, there were so many aspects to it that made it we just got extremely flipping lucky the whole trip. You know them trips you have where you just get lucky, especially because we went when it was like absolutely hammering down with snow. We got down on we touched down on the Wednesday night after like a 2-hour delay. Anyway.
2 hour delay.
Yeah, 2 hour delay.
Oh, yeah, no, it's coming back to me now.
But then in the morning when we woke up, because obviously we were in Hotel Moxie, which overlooks.
Hey, Moxie!
Great hotel.
Moxie's amazing.
It's a fantastic hotel.
It's so
brilliant.
Nice.
The bar's
it's so
nice,
nice,
right? It's cheap
and
as well.
The staff are so nice there.
Yeah,
like,
they
couldn't
really
do enough
are.
for us, and it's 24-hour bar.
Yeah,
like you get food 24-hour at the bar as well. It's
we
was
up
as well. We were up until like 2 a.m. because we was just excited. But yeah, but the next morning we woke up and you could obviously see that you can see everything, can't you? The whole airport covered in snow.
Wow.
No planes. Yeah, thrill pics, Matt. And there's a few people I saw.
Yeah.
All the flights were getting diverted, so no one could land. And then like when we woke up at like 8 a.m, like the Uber, because our plan was just to get an Uber because there was like seven of us. So it was just like, we'll just get a big Uber. It won't be that much. Mate, because of the snow, it was saying it was going to be €300 to get 20 minutes down the road. So we were like, what the hell are we going to do?
Wow.
Did you get the train?
No, because public transport was just bad. It was everything it was full on thick snow. And then, but in the end, coming back to Moxie, just the staff, just to shout them out, we told them and they were like, we'll sort it out. And they rang around for us and they went, we've got a 7-seater coming to pick you up. It's going to be £90. So obviously between us all, that's absolutely
Oh
fine.
wow!
Where was this
Wow.
hotel? Was it in Cologne or?
It's
It's
literally
next
at the
to the
airport.
airport.
You literally walk out of the terminal, and it's
It's
like a
there.
5-minute walk.
Oh,
Like,
is it? Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
yeah. It's like
Yeah,
part
it's
of
really
it.
good.
It's
There is
it's
no
it's a
parking
Marriott,
included.
isn't it? Marriott.
Yeah, it's part of the
yeah.
Yeah.
Retrack.
I've just seen in the chat that you got free food on arrival as well. Well, that makes it worse.
No, we didn't get free food. We got free
Free
drinks.
rolls?
No, we didn't get free. I don't know what Joe's on about. We got free beer. That's it. We didn't. We paid.
Free pay is enough.
Yeah, we didn't get free food. But yeah, so yeah, they give us a like literally. We checked in. They were just like, "Do you want a beer? You get free beer." It was like, "Yeah."
Nah, I'm all right.
Yeah,
I just want to go to bed.
but we find so just to make it a bit more quick. Sorry. We finally got there eventually, and then we went straight into Charles Lindbergh because that's where we were staying, and we just went there to like drop our cases in, but like our rooms were ready. So I think you had the same experience, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
I
then
did
so
too.
that was all ready. Except for me and Joe's room wasn't ready, and it's next door to Chris and Gemma's, so I was a bit peeved. I was going like, everyone's coming out of the rooms going, "Oh God, it's so good." I'm like, "Yeah, well, great." Yeah,
I wouldn't know, mate.
But no, but like they were really
funny.
they were really good. The crazy thing is though, is that by the way, if you go there and you don't get your fast pass, because fast passes are included, you have like we had to ask for them because we come out.
Packet?
No, we didn't have them. So we come out and was like, we've not got fast passes. Maybe they don't do it anymore. And then like when me and Joe checked in later on, we asked, and I was just like, "Oh, did you not get them?" We was like, "No." And there was like, "Oh, here's a bunch of fast passes." They just give us.
Oh yeah, we had like on
they
our
must have just
check-in,
forgotten
she
them.
literally went through the entire folder. and
Yeah,
went,
she
"This
did
is
to us
this,
as well.
this."
Yeah.
And then went, "Here's your fast passes," and put them in the folder.
No,
Yes, same
we
with me.
didn't have-
They must have
yeah.
just forgotten.
I think the girl forgot. Cause, yeah, I think she did forget. But like we had to ask for them. So yeah, just to point you, if you don't get them, ask for them.
Ask for them,
Yeah, ask for them. And they open a massive drawer full of stacked fast pass cards. But yeah, so it was really good because there's a few.
I still have mine as well.
Yeah. But yeah, the welcome pack is amazing as well. Like it's just so well detailed. Yeah, I can't say enough about Charles Lindbergh. And the craziest thing about it is it feels like it seems like expensive when you book it, but when you add it all up, it's
insane
so
good
cheap.
value.
Yeah,
like it's so cheap. You get 2 days on park. You get 2 fast passes each.
Meal.
You get your breakfast, your dinner. Well, yeah, your tea.
Oh yeah, that 3-course meal, which is worth probably about €100.
Yeah,
€20 or something.
Because
insane.
it's the amount of food you get is and
it's
the
like,
price if you were to pay for it is stupid.
It's like a no-brainer. Like if you can do it, do it. Like, and you just get the best views of that area, of the entire park if you go right to the top, obviously.
And not to forget bar 1919.
Yeah. Oh my god, man! It's
pool table.
So good.
How good is that bar?
It's so good. Like we had such a good time there, and the people, the staff in there are so friendly.
They like your character as well.
So this is something I missed out when we talked about it earlier. Like the staff in the hotel and Fly's boarding staff as well. Like Fly's loading crew, they all seem in character with each other.
Yeah.
They're all reeling off what sound like rehearsed lines, but like to each other is sick.
Yeah. We were, because when we was in the bar, we were like, we had like a bartender, well, a server who would come round to tables, and he just seemed like a character of a film. Like, it's probably the same guy that you probably had.
I think it might have been the same.
Yeah.
He was like really over
He
enthusiastic.
was so energetic, and he was just like, he couldn't do enough for us, and he was just asking us loads of questions about us and where we're from and things. And it was just really, it just felt so good. Just felt very welcoming.
And then if all that's not enough, you also get to walk around Rookburg until midnight.
Yeah,
that's what. Well, yeah, exactly. We didn't do that because we were just too busy drinking and we forgot.
We actually stopped and went and walked around. And
so did we. So did we.
A weird experience.
We played pool for like 2 hours or something. But
I won. Woo.
It was really good, and then like just going around the area at night on the balconies and stuff, like me, Chris, and Joe were just walking around that whole area until about 3 a.m. We didn't go to bed, so we went to bed. We were just walking around, and it was just so cool. And then obviously, so the first day, we did. I've jumped ahead a little bit now, but yeah. Anyway, so we did it. There's a few coasters, a few people needed
you were
to.
just doing the highlights.
I am doing highlights. I'm trying to. I've covered off the hotel. They check done.
There you go.
But yeah, because we went with quite a few people who had never been before. So Jack, Vix, and Matt, Coaster Giant hadn't been before. So it's so good seeing their first reactions to everything in probably the best time you could actually go. Because me and Joe had been in the summer before. Completely different park in the winter.
It is.
It's just completely different. I wouldn't say I do like the summer, don't get me wrong, because your face doesn't feel like it's melting off on the rides from like just how cold it is. But like just the atmosphere of the park
is so magical.
It's just so nice. Like
it's so much better.
Yeah.
It's so much better.
It's weird for me because there's some bits I like and some bits, like I say, like this, like Taryn's waterfall. Like that is missed in the winter.
Yeah, I did notice. I was like, oh, the water's not there.
I think that is massively missed, but it was worth it for the night rides. You what?
When I went for winter, but that's going a few years ago, we had the waterfalls on.
It might have just been how cold it was. They didn't have
I
it
think
running.
it does. I suppose. Imagine if it goes below a certain really cold temperature.
I was going to say I don't remember the waterfalls not being there when I was there in December.
No, they weren't on.
About 4 or 5 degrees when we went, so it weren't like
we were at -1, 2. I think
it was flipping, mate. I was not prepared for how cold it was. I'm saying that.
Dressed accordingly after me stating so many times about how you need to be warm. And you telling me to shut up? Apparently, you were cold, Sean.
I didn't say shut. Where you get? What fantasy world are you living on? I never.
Every time I would be like, "Okay, Mum," and then you were cold. So you know,
I was freezing.
That's your own problem.
I mean, I don't remember that, but yeah, I was cold.
I'll get receipts.
Yeah, get receipts and show me. But like, it was just So anyway, I need to crack on with this. Keep getting diverted. But yeah, so there's a few coasters we need to do when we first went there. So we didn't do Fly straight away because I wanted it to be my 200th, and I needed to do one half of Windjass and Crazy Bats to make it my 200th. So, and also the first one we had to do there was Taryn's to make it Jack's 100th credit.
Nice.
So
nice.
We got into Taryn Queue and he said like 20 minutes, but then like it went down for like half an hour. But we was like, we literally can't do anything else. We was like, everyone was leaving the queue and was like, we've got to just stick it out. So we did.
Yeah, for sure.
And even though it was like in the, early on in the day, like I just forgot how much that coaster, like, how much I love that coaster. Like I've done so much other coasters in the last like 2 years since doing Taryn that I just forgot how good it was, even in the daytime. And I was just like, even then I was like, I forgot how good it was.
I forgot how punchy it is on the positives. I remember the quick transitions. I remember the airtime, but in terms of positive G's, it was way stronger than I remembered.
Yeah, it is. And like the second launch on Taryn, to me, I think even in the daytime early on is so much more. It's almost it equals Velocicoaster's second launch at night. Like just in the daytime for me, like when you get that like hyper speed feeling where you just like, what?
Like,
I felt
so close.
Yeah, I felt like I don't understand how Taryn's is so much stronger. And then at night, I'll come on to the night ride on it, but at night, Jesus Christ, like I thought I was like gonna go to the moon. Like,
my thinking behind it is it's a lighter train because it's 2 less cars.
Yeah, true.
That's true.
And that's the main portion of it. Really. It's just like it's a lighter train. Like obviously the strength of the LSM is like it fluctuates like from coaster to coaster a little bit, but yeah, it's a lighter train.
And then
the tunnel effect is a little bit more effective on Taryn, I think.
Yeah. That's probably got something to do with it, that perceived speed as well.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It takes my breath away every time on that second launch. Like it's just insane,
man.
But yeah, so we did that, and then we did Rake, which I'd never done before because it was just so busy when we went in the summer. And Rake is like surprisingly so good. Like,
it's not bad, isn't it?
Like it's amazing. Like
I love the station. The
station's cool. The view you get as you're going backwards and seeing like going up that, and then like I don't know, it's just really, really surprised me.
Did you get the Taran interaction?
No, we didn't. I don't think
what?
I was so glad I got that camera.
But that was another one I needed to tick. I needed to do like 3 coasters to make Flyma 200. So that was another one. And then after that, we bumped into Jackstagram on Twitter. Everyone go follow him.
Okay, yeah.
Him and his gang. Yeah. And then he was like going to go do Mystery Castle, and we was like, yeah, I didn't do Mystery Castle last time I went, so that was my first time doing Mystery Castle. And it was incredible. Like I've never done anything like it. It was just so cool. Like what blows me away about Mystery Castle is that the ride hosts don't even wait.
No.
They're
still going into
the and you're just like, what the
like, literally.
Did you get the full cycle or half
cycle? So Chris and Gemma kept telling us that we weren't getting the full cycle, the what's it called?
They don't usually do it till after about 2 o'clock.
Yeah, so we did it like
after
2.
It's after
2
after
2. So, but they were convinced we weren't getting it. But then we later found out that we did get it. It's just that Chris and Gemma did Mystery Castle when it was like they did on a coaster club trip where they got
so they did like
they got like 5 launches or something. So they thought that's what it was gonna, I was like, no. Someone else. Mate. I think we found out.
Yeah,
later.
full cycle was a half launch first. Then...
Yeah. That's what we got. We got half launch, and then we got right to the top, and then let down. But I love the whole element of just seeing. Like I've never had the experience of facing each other, and when you look up, it's like a black void. Like you're just like, what is going to happen?
And when you look down as well,
yeah.
You just can't see anything.
It's just so disorientating.
I think Luke's reaction was amazing, though.
Oh, I was just screaming all the way.
He doesn't not a fan of drop towers, and it was just because your ride it was the half cycle, wasn't it? So it was all the way to the top straight away.
I was like,
and it was just like we kept going.
Yeah.
And it hits the second gear halfway up as well.
It really does.
Yeah. So then we
I love how I don't even have to say anything about Fantasyland anymore. You're all confirming everything I've ever said about it.
Confirms itself, doesn't it?
I love that.
So I'm gonna skip a load of stuff we did anyway now, but I'll just talk about Fly because like Fly, I went there thinking like I'm gonna love the area. You
got the brick
Lego.
Oh, there you go.
I was like, I knew I was gonna love the area, but I didn't think I thought I was gonna like Fly and be a good coaster, but I wasn't prepared for like how much I was gonna love it. Like honestly, like so it sneaks up on you. It was like what I didn't expect was how like. I don't know why, but the pre-show thing. I'm not going to talk about too much, but like it kind of made me emotional, man. Like I don't know, it's something about that thing.
The music, it does hit.
The music.
It's the music.
Everything about it. Like I was like, what is going on? And then you have the. Yeah, and then we did it. We did the first ride we had. I think it was about middle row.
Oh, and, not a bad row to have, to be fair.
And because we use our hotel passes, and obviously you can't choose to do front row if you use your hotel passes. Yeah. But we did it, and I was amazed by it. Like it was just like. I've heard people say it, but I wasn't prepared for the airtime I was going to get on it and how intense it was.
Yeah,
like an airtime in a flying position is just the most bizarre
it's weird, thing. Isn't it?
And it's ejector airtime as well. It's not just airtime.
Yeah,
you're on the front row.
Yeah. So, just cut a long story short. So I'll just focus on Fly for a second. But like we did that, and then later on. And then the next day we just made sure we was like straight into the queue when it opened. So because we was in Charles Lindbergh, so we all decided we're going to get there. We was pretty much at the front of the queue before it opened.
Did you walk into the table?
The table? No, we didn't. We saw the table.
The table.
But like But even like I thought, even that queue, I wouldn't want to be standing in that queue for that long. But
No.
I thought that whole queue was such a good experience.
It's so cool.
It's like the
all
views
the way
you
around
get.
the area.
Yeah, the views you get from it is so good.
Yeah. Did you see the model?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the room.
Yeah.
The model is so cool.
It's so cool. But like, so we all decided, because we went straight in, we all decided to do like we all queued up for front row. So then we didn't get on the same train, but it was like we want to just do the front row because it might be the only chance we get.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And I come off that front row and I was like, it went straight to my top, went straight into number one. Just doing it in the morning, it went straight to number one. And I was like, I need to do this thing at night, front row, because
you do.
Like, I was like, well, it didn't go straight to number one. Sorry, it didn't go straight to number one. I was like, this has gone definitely like up there. But I was like, if I got a front row night ride, this would probably go into number one. Because Ruckberg at night is just something else. And then later on, so I'm flipping back and forth in time. But yeah, so later on that night, we got in the queue. We used our hotel passes to get into the queue, and it was that busy that day. Flyer was that they shut off their front row like an hour and a half before it closed.
Yeah.
So by a miracle, like we ended up at the front. Like so, our group knew that we was going to get to the front. So I think Chris was like, "Who wants to do front row?" And me and Jack were just like, "Us." We went to the front of it, and honestly, like that was just one of the best experiences I've ever had on any coaster. Like being front at night, going through like just how fast and intense it was, and just flying past, like just in and out. It just felt like you was in a city, like in this like steampunk city, like exactly what it's meant to be.
And you know what's so great about it? Like, do you see how more agile it is than B&M flying coasters now? Like the way it can just weave in and out of theming elements and stuff. Oh, it's so good. It's so much better of an experience.
It blows my mind that it's a Vekoma. Like it blows my mind because it doesn't. Like when I'm on a Vekoma, even like the new ones when it's like Energylandia, I'm like, I'm kind of like, I kind of get that I'm on a Vekoma. This is like, it's just the levels above anything else I've done. Sure. I haven't done Lek, so I can't comment on that. I know that's crazy, but it's just like, it's everything about it. And me and Jack come off it, and I was just like, that's gone straight to number one. I was like 100%. But then we did Taron.
Here we go.
Right then.
Because the first night we did Taron front row, we all queued up for front row, and then like I was like, that was amazing. But then we managed, because we knew it was going to be a busy day that second day because the snow put off people the first day. So early on we was like, let's just buy 2 fast passes. It's €20. So it's 2 fast passes. So you can only buy 2 at a time. And we was like, we just want to guarantee that we get because we had so much night rides we wanted to do. We wanted to do like Talican at night. We wanted to do Fly again at night. Like we just had loads to do. So we was like, we also want to have a beer in between all that. So let's just get fast passes. Make sure we secure 2 goes and Taron. So we just did it. And because you buy fast passes, it guarantees you basically, not everyone in the group because it's a big group, but if you get a fast pass, you'll probably get good chance you get a back row ride. So we did 2 goes and Taron back to back.
Nice.
One near the back, and then the second go was like right at the back. And it just was like, again, was
your reaction the same as mine? All I could do was laugh.
Mate, it would just there's no words to explain it, man. And like it was just incredible. And like we just come off doing Fly, me saying that was the best experience I've ever had on a coaster, and then we did Taron at the back at night, and then I was just like, that's just surpassed Fly. So then it's gone. So for me now it's Fly first, and Taron first, number 1, and then Fly second. Wow. Just because it was just, I don't know. Again, it's so subjective. I think rankings are, and it depends on the time that you're with, you're at, and but it was just like there was just nothing else that compares to it. Like, and again, I was saying it about Ruckberg as well. I was like, you can go to a Disney park, you can go to a Universal park, and they'll be like so well themed. But what theme park would go to that level for non-IP? There were just, I don't think there'll ever be like a park that will go to that much level of detail. for like their own, just like a random story that they've created
exist.
themselves. It just doesn't. And
It doesn't exist.
And I love the fact that Rookburg, what I love as well, and it cements it now. We've talked about it before. Is that like Phantasialand? They don't put a screen in your face and go, "Once upon a time in a land far, far away." This, there's an air of mystery about everything.
Yeah,
and I love that. I love that fact to it as well. And it's just I didn't really get the whole story of Rookburg to begin with, but I didn't really need to. Like, I was just like, it's aeronauts, it's steampunk. You can look into it later if you want to, but it's just the feeling you get.
We've talked about that before with the presence of story within Rookburg and Klugheim, haven't we? But Christopher Kenny on Twitter was one to point out that it is quite intentional by the park to not have it be so overbearing over one's own experience of each land, and give you the autonomy and the freedom to really, place yourself in your own scenarios as you're there. Like, it's very open for different interpretation by different people, which I think is a really cool. Which, to be honest, put in that perspective, I think is a really cool.
Well, that's. But we had the conversation, didn't we? Like, it's when James was saying, was it James? It was some. I can't. It might have been James. It was someone else, like saying how you shouldn't have to do so much homework on a storyline to get it. But I was like, but it's the way I equate Phantasialand is like reading a book. You read a book, it's open to interpretation. Everyone has a whole different, like, you just make it up in your mind, don't you? So everyone's, the way the characters look, the way the world looks, or whatever, it's open to interpretation, and that's what I love about the way Phantasialand do things.
Which is crazy when you think about it, because of how distinct each area is.
Yeah,
Matt does make a point there, saying staying in the hotel really does enhance the feeling that you're part of the story.
For sure.
So, did you get the 2 weeks before you stayed?
Yeah,
and then a week before,
the email.
You got emails that were literally just telling you you're going to be checking in. This is how you do it, but it's themed and part of the story of like you're being welcomed into an exclusive.
But this whole pack.
I was just going to say that. Yeah.
It's like notes from like.
So your Wi-Fi password is in there. But it's like here's how to gain access to this thing. And
it tells you in the story of one of the pilots whose cabin you're staying in, and it's like all story. Like, even the hotel is like all story led, and it makes a massive difference. But overall, it was an amazing trip, and just seeing. I mean, people probably saw on Twitter if you follow us, like. Seeing Taron just like nailing it through an actual blizzard was like the craziest experience of my life, and then just like having a beer like in Klugheim in the snow, and it was just and then seeing Taron just going around while I'm a beer and it's just snowing was insane. And then like we went and then. Because we did that, and then we was just like, okay, we're really cold now. Let's go to Mystery Castle. And we went across Mystery Castle. And, as you're going up through the queue, and it's all snowing, it's blizzard. I was like, I feel like we're going to meet the final boss of this. Like, castle. I was like, it just felt like so immersive, like it just in the snow. Because I always, a lot of people relate like Klugheim to like Game of Thrones or something. I relate it to Skyrim, if anyone ever like
Skyrim. Yeah.
So when it was like snowing, I was like, it feels more like Skyrim now, and I'm like,
we're going to see a dragon.
Yeah. But the one thing I will say is that they do have a problem with sewage. I don't know what's going on.
It's
right.
that
Did you smell that as well?
Toilets.
Yeah.
It's been like that. I went.
There was a weird
smell. They still smell like poop because they smell like poop 4 years ago.
So it was like that when I went in the summer. And then I think still the same.
See, when I went in the summer, it wasn't an issue. I didn't have that issue. I didn't know whether it's because of like things freezing out, like water freezing over and stuff.
It's been like that all year, basically.
Yeah, I don't know. It might be a smell pod.
I literally said on the vlog as we went through I was like, this is definitely not Aroma Prime. Like, as we're walking through.
So the worst part is the first time I smelt it was when I was on River Quest.
Oh no!
So who came
Jesus
round
Christ.
and you'll buy
You'll buy the
Clockheim's
toilets. Yeah.
and it is a smell from them toilets, and I genuinely thought
They
it
smell
was the
for years.
water.
Yeah. So okay, I just want to. We got to do a main topic because we're going to be here forever.
Oh, we got 2 hours and we've
We
done
could
know.
just do the
What-
main topic next week.
No, we'll have a bit of a conversation about it because
Everyone's at Weenies now, so
we still got 31 viewers.
Weenie,
so
weenie, weenie.
Thank you so
weenie,
much,
weenie.
everyone,
There
for
you go. How
staying
many
with
was
us.
that?
Yeah, if you're here, you're true fans.
But yeah, I just want to say, like, we went to Hotel Lingbao the second night.
Oh shit, yeah, you did, didn't you?
And like I was not even that excited because I was like within Charles Lindbergh. I was like, Charles Lindbergh was just cheap at the time, and it was like, let's go and do it. Honestly, that place is stunning. Like, it's so nice. They've got a heated pool that goes inside and outside. That the whole like in the like where you can go to the bar and stuff, it just plays like this chilled out like music. Like all the chairs are like basically recline, like they're all just like massive sofas that you can lean back on. And then because we wanted to do the Chinese buffet, but there was full, but they managed to fit us into Hotel Matamba, so we got to go to Hotel Matamba and have the African buffet there, which was incredible.
Nice,
because like it's like African food is some of my favorite. Being a vegetarian, a lot of it is just like rice, chickpeas, and like spicy. Like it's my favorite food. So I was in heaven. And after being like just eating crap and stuff like for like 2 days, it was good to have some veggies. But overall, like the food at Phantasialand is next level.
unbelievable.
Like, it's just unbelievable. We had the jambalaya finally.
Yes,
which is so
good.
Like it's so nice. Like it's just so much food there, and like even the Chinese food in the Chinese area, it's like authentic Chinese food. Like it's just I just wish.
A quick one about Lingbao. Like Lingbao is supposed to be their take on just like a more luxury style hotel, right?
Yeah,
like,
I didn't realize that.
Like that's. I mean, I've never stayed at Lingbao. I've only stayed at Charles Lindbergh, but that's what I've heard from people who have stayed there. So like it makes really nice sense for that area as well.
It was really, really nice. Like it was way better than I thought it was going to be. And also, I did steal this from the hotel room, so sorry, Fantasia. This is on my desk. No one else got this in their room because I think everyone else is still some. But it's a whole book on Klugheim and the making of.
Wow,
that's cool.
So it's like literally. Let me just find some pictures. Like it's literally.
Don't you just outing yourself on the internet.
Mate, I was like, I'll steal this. If they want to charge me, I'll pay for it. Because like honestly, I was looking through this.
Wow.
And it was just like it was just. I need to translate it all, but like some of the pictures in it are like absolutely amazing. Like literally showing you like, how like everything was made, like down to the lanterns and stuff.
Hey,
like,
the €800 lanterns.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, they're €800 per lantern.
Per lantern, yeah.
Honestly, about like the scoring of it and everything. And like, hold on, this is my favorite picture. Let me just show. Well, this is a good picture as well. Just a double page spread of that, and then this sums up Taron, right?
Yeah, just looking down the
Wow.
And then on the back page is just like the concept art. Well, like the actual art.
That I love that concept art so much.
Yeah, but like it's just like an amazing. Like just looking through the pictures, I was like, I'm taking this. I don't care. Sorry. But yeah, so that was that. There's so much to talk about, but that was it. It was a great trip. But we're gonna now move on to Weenies. So this conversation, I thought it'd be good. It's only going to be a quick thing, but this kind of was birthed out of something that Mikhail suggested. Was the fact that a big criticism of Rockberg is
an early one.
An early one, yeah. Like something that people just like made note of, which is something like before even Mikhail noted it, I didn't think it in my head, but I don't really see it as a negative, but there's not really a focal point in Rockberg. And I don't know, I'll just say like we said earlier, Weenie is like a focal point of an area. You could call Big Bob Wickerman statue. You could call that because it's just the focal point of the ride.
Yeah.
But like,
Big Bob's
yeah, but there's not really when you go into Ruckberg. But I think it's kind of like a positive in Ruckberg.
Yeah,
you feel like you're in a city, right?
Yeah.
That's exactly the point I was going to go on.
With Ruckberg, I don't think having a focal point would work for that area.
No, it wouldn't.
With the fact that obviously they have that back gate closed, so you only have one entrance and exit to the area. But if you had a focal point where everyone went to, it would first off ruin flow for people through that area.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the main kind of aspect of Ruckberg is as you walk in, your focal point is the entire ride, and it's meant to be drawing you in and bringing you through the area naturally. People congregating, staring at one big thing, I feel like it would ruin that area if they had one main focal point for it.
Yeah.
So Matt said, because I thought about this as well, is like the train is kind of like what draws the eye a little bit. I'd say it's a centerpiece, but I don't think, in my opinion, it doesn't do the job that a weenie should do, which is like
that's why I was on it.
I just don't think if you look at photos, typically something is a weenie. If people have photos in front of it, and everyone's photos I see of Ruckberg in the train, like it's just a mess of track. Like that literally what it is. Like there's not really one point in that place. I mean, there's
everyone's taking photos of everything, aren't they? In my area.
And I was filming in there on the last day. Because by the way, if you go to like Hotel Lingbao or Hotel Matamba, if you're staying there, they will give you park entrance for €25.
Oh wow!
An extra day. I found that out the next day. And also, don't be afraid to ask for fast passes because you don't get fast passes at Hotel Lingbao. But if you ask nicely, they'll just give you one.
I think Matamba should go back to doing early morning Taran ERT.
Yeah,
that is what I think.
That was like a legendary thing, right? And nowhere does it now. Nowhere does ERT. But I think the reason they don't do that is because it didn't seem like anyone took it up except for like.
Except for
I've heard stories of people having ERT and then just doing like Taran like 17 times in the morning because no one else is there. But yeah, so going back to Ruckberg, the focal point. I don't think it's necessary. So yeah, great show, everyone.
I just think that context matters. Like you're supposed to be all the things that James said are true and valid, and they are reasons why a focal point in the middle of that area would be more detrimental than it would be beneficial. But also, you're in the middle of a city. Like there aren't too many cities out there that have one striking focal point.
No.
That makes you, that draws your attention towards it and kind of makes you overlook everything else in the city. You're in the middle of a city. That's the scenario. That's the visual scenario that you're supposed to be in. And we've said like focal points and weenies, like they work in certain areas under context. And in some areas they don't.
Kingdom, perfect.
Yeah. I mean, if anything, that like the castles work so well because it's like your true north in them parks when you're not used to them.
A hub, isn't it?
It's like you have. It was when it's is it called the wheel and the spoke? Is that what it's called?
Hub and spoke.
Hub and spoke.
Yeah.
We have the central part, which is the castle, and everything comes away from it. That works really well because you'd be so lost without it. And I mean, Phantasialand. I mean, it's the first time you go to Phantasialand, like, good luck trying to find your way around it.
Yeah, I was so grateful
trying to find Talakan's entrance.
Yeah.
That took me a good 20 minutes.
But
still hidden. Yeah.
I had to message my friend and went, "Is there actually a shop?" And he went, "Yes, here's where to go."
Yeah.
But I knew my way around because I'd been there the first day in the summer, and there were certain routes I didn't know that Chris and Gemma just led us to. But then because by the second day I was there, when we went in Wintram. I kind of knew my way around really well, but I've said this before, but I love that in parks sometimes where you don't actually know where you're going.
Yeah, I like
quirky.
I think that's really good. And I remember like the first time I ever went to Chessington, I was like that because Chessington's a bit like that. There's no focal point in Chessington.
True.
And you don't know where the hell you're walking, but all the paths are really small. And I like it when a park is like that. It's not good when it's busy, don't get me wrong. But if you're not in a busy park, it's like with Fantasia especially, all these little routes are like so like little and stuff. And you're like, okay, we can get through a shortcut. There's like a million different ways you can get to Berlin from anywhere.
It just feels like you're. Like, it just feels more so like you're getting lost in another world.
Yeah,
like it's that feeling of just being lost in everything around you. Like
it
helps with that.
But I think a part like Magic Kingdom though, where they get a lot of footfall. Like we're talking like the most.
Yeah.
Like you need something like a castle in the middle to be like, okay, we know we're there, so we can always just head towards that thing. But sometimes I think. Yeah, I mean, you've always got Mystery Castle, which can see pretty much everywhere, but that's not a focus. That's not in the middle of the park, is it?
The park.
So it doesn't really help. So I think it can be a pet benefit, but it can also be a detriment to other areas, personally. But
no, I agree.
If you look at what Merlin do now, they've got this massive love of having this centerpiece of their rides.
The Jaguar.
Yeah.
You got the Jaguar, you got the Wicker Man, you got Big Marmalizer. You've got at their other parks as well. They do it quite a lot.
Port, in a way, that kind of.
I'd say. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that much.
One. Yeah, not so much. But yeah, Colossus's.
Colossus.
Yeah, that's
central point.
Actually.
But I don't know. I'd say sometimes they just serve more as like a photo opportunity than anything else. Like when it's done in that context, is it more of a
Instagram of the ride?
Yeah,
Instagram section.
You could argue, I suppose, when you look at it and you go, okay, in terms of Weenies, does it matter? Does a park need one? No, because you look at somewhere like Energylandia, and you don't go to Energylandia and go, oh, I'm going to go because I've seen such a thing. Like the rides and the coasters speak for themselves at Energylandia. There's fuck all theming, let's be honest, really, on the grand. But so you could argue that like places like Disney and places like this that have got these massive, huge things, the castle is a draw because everybody wants a photo by the castle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ben and Holly had been there, done that, got engaged in front of Tower of Terror, and it's you know, these things are important.
Congratulations to them.
Congratulations, by the way.
Like, it's important to a degree, but it doesn't make a park.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I think
the towers are one, aren't they, as well?
I'd say, I was going to say this. I'd say the towers themselves, when you walk in, that is their weenie, but it's different because you can't see it from other parts of the park.
Yeah.
No, you don't see it from outside and be like, what?
No. But this is another thing I wanted to mention was with towers is that, like, I think it's, I don't know, like, I get the practical reason of having a hotel entrance to towers, but I also feel sorry for people who have never been to towers before, stay at the hotel, and their first experience is walking into Forbidden Valley because it's not the same. Like, I always remember the first time I ever went to towers, and I went down Tower Street, and you come through the turnstiles, and you see them towers. It's like epic, like
just looking straight down Tower Street.
And it's not fake, you know. They designed Tower Street to go there for that view. Like,
it doesn't matter how many times you walk into Tower Street and you go, like, I could probably say I've been told to towers hundreds of times in my life. But every time I walk in, I'm still like, oh, like it's you know, it's nice to see every time. It doesn't get old.
It's beautiful, for sure.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful area,
and
it's done on purpose, you know.
That's the thing, and I just feel like with like I say, with the hotel entrance, like that's not as impressive. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, Nemesis is great, but like as a theme park experience, you know, you want to have that wow moment where you come down a street, you can see, like, it's just like green grass and then the towers just in the background. And even on a misty day, it looks epic because you just see these like towers in the background behind the mist.
It really
it's
does.
So cool.
Yeah.
And there's nowhere in the world in any theme park that we won't get that anywhere because it's a real mansion. Yeah. It's not a castle, but let's say compared to a castle, it's an actual castle. Like
it's ruins.
It's not a fake thing. So yeah, I think in that respect, I think Weenies in terms of a park weenie, not an area weenie.
An attraction weenie.
I think it serves as a great like entrance. I think that's what it serves its purpose for. Because when you come down, you go to Magic Kingdom or any type of Magic Kingdom Disney park, that is the thing that wows you when you first go.
Oh yeah,
isn't it? Like you go down it, you go, I've seen it a million times in photos and videos and blah blah, but to actually see it in person is like crazy.
And to be fair, Phantasialand kind of has that in the wave swing, flat ride in the middle of Berlin.
Yeah,
that took me back a bit. I was like,
that whole area with that with the wave swinger ride
and the balconies
all over their marketing.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
especially at Wintertron because they dress that area up so nicely.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, the light switch on.
Oh,
did you see the light switch on?
Yeah, like by accident. Me and Joe.
We did as well.
Me and Joe went to go check into Ruckberg because everyone else checked in, so we left everyone. Walked down to Berlin.
And then Old Lang Syne starts playing.
Yeah, we walked down it. All the snow was like blowing out, all the fake snow. And then like it was just like, oh, something's happening. And then like I got my phone out. I got my phone as well, and they just switched on as we walked down the steps, and I was like, that was perfect.
Yeah.
But like also, can I just say like it was so weird for me because I didn't realize that Phantasialand like make fake snow and put it around the park.
Yeah.
But the reason I didn't know that was because it was actually snowing. There was already snow everywhere. So like on the first day, but like towards the end of the day, like I was like, oh, there's still snow everywhere. They look, there's all snow in the corners and stuff. And then Chris is like. No, that's actually that they make it. It's like it's snow machines. I'm like, geez, like that's just kind of another level that Phantasialand go to.
Yeah, we saw Lo doing it like with the machine, and he was literally firing it at people, all the kids and stuff.
Oh, really?
He's on our vlog. Like he literally comes behind me and just goes, "Oh wow!" Just
it's just crazy. I just want to I just want to do this. Kira said a really nice message.
Oh yeah.
Walking down Tower Street this year for the first time in a decade brought tears to my eyes.
Wow.
Did not expect to get so emotional, but it really is an experience. Like someone like me, like Towers is my second home. Like I spend more time there than anywhere else because I basically work there now.
It's your workplace, mate.
Yeah, it's literally like most of the time I'm coming in the side gate onto Tower Street. So, but like. Every now and again, even now, like I when I got to the top at the turnstiles, like I just look at it and I go, gee, like we are so lucky, like that this place exists. Like
I can still remember the first time I not only walked onto Tower Street in 2020, but also just drove up towards the two signs, like on the drive-in entrance on Farley Lane. Right? Yeah. Just the first time seeing that entrance and Tower Street in however long it was like 5 or 6 years or something like that. When I went back for the first time in 2020, and it brought everything back. Like it brought back the times I would go there in the spring bank holidays with my mum and like a couple of my friends and stuff, like in primary school. Like it brought all of it back, and I was just like, I was so happy to just see it all.
Yeah.
Laura said, "I'm so glad I'm not the only one that gets emotional about visiting theme parks. We all do, I think. Like it's honestly,
this podcast would not exist.
You should have seen me on City Walk. Like
we get nerdy and geeky and stuff, but like it doesn't take away the fact that the reason that." I know for a fact that we all love theme parks here is that like there's an emotional connection to it, and it's like it makes me happy. Like for example, with Phantasialand, we went there, and I had all intentions to vlog. I didn't vlog because I'm gonna go into detail, but I've had a pretty shit like couple of months, like just mentally and stuff. But like I got there and I was like worrying about vlogging and stuff, and I just went, you know what? Like I'm not gonna vlog. Like I just went, what? Like, I was like,
go and just soak.
I was like, why am I doing it? Like the reason that we have like Parkspin and stuff, we do it because we like doing it. And I was like, why you? Because I hadn't done it in so long. I was sort of stressing about it, and I was just like, nah, I need to just enjoy it. And then as soon as I did that, that was like in the first hour I was there. I was just like, I just realized that all this like pressure went off me, and then like I had like the best like couple of days, and it just sorted my mental health out like straight away. And then because I hadn't been to a theme park in so long, because it's been closed season, I think you forget it. I think you forget like how. What is everyone laughing at?
No. I'm not laughing at what you're saying. It's reminding me of the fact that I'm going to California next week.
Yeah. But like,
I'm going
I think
yeah.
Like in the closed season, you forget like the reason that you do like you go to theme parks, and for me, it is like definitely for like my mental health, 100%, like 100%. So
absolutely, that's undeniable.
That like proved it to me that it was like something that because sometimes I get lost in it, you know, when you have like a channel, or you revolve your whole roundabout theme parks, about going on Twitter and stuff like that. Like you have to actually bring it back into like why you actually like theme parks, and
you have to rein it in sometimes.
Yeah.
Literally ads saying this, and this sparks off a whole bunch of other thoughts in my mind. Actually, theme parks are emotive places. If they don't provoke an emotion, then they fail.
Yeah, 100%.
I 1000% agree. 1000%
better myself. Yeah.
I think that's you know, we are banging about Fantasyland, but I think that's why it hits the nail on the head, because like I was sick of Christmas. Like I was like sick of Christmas by like Christmas turned up. But I was in Fantasyland, and then I was just like, I feel really Christmassy again.
It's
like,
Christmas again.
I was like, it's so weird.
There's a tree.
So
yeah.
It's not like I say. Going back to Laura's comment, like that is legitimately what I know of. The people I know is they go to theme parks, not just be like, obviously we geek out a little bit, but there's more to it than that. It's not just being like, what's the latest thing and blah blah blah.
Yeah, no, there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
I think that's something I'm going to do less of this year, which is vlog. I think I'm just going to. I kind of regret vlogging as much as I did in Florida, which is why I'm going back as well. But I've done it now, but I know I can enjoy it next time, because we did one day at Universal Studios out on Adventure and Studios. We did it in one day, and I didn't vlog. I didn't have anything. Didn't have my phone. Nothing. Just went in like with nothing, and it was like the best thing ever. So I need to do that more.
I think I really enjoyed at Florida. Like, thing is, it's different for me because obviously my job every day is like filming. Like, I film
for sure.
Like, and then now it's just it's theme parks. So like it's kind of second nature to me. So it's not as hard. But with Florida, I didn't go as hard as I usually went at with theme parks. So I still enjoyed it because I was just like had my camera. So I think like for me this year, I think I'm just gonna focus less on cinematics and just like, because like I've realized in the past, this is like gone way off tangent, but I've just realized in the past like year that I actually love watching our vlogs back, not for the cinematics, but actually
for the memories.
Me and Joe's like trips. Because if you watch them from 2 years ago, you're like, oh my god, like you watch it. And I'm just like, I'm just going to do that. Like, I just take my camera with me and just film my day. Like, I don't really care anymore about, like getting subscribers and stuff. There was a time where I cared about it, but it's not all the be all and end.
It's a memory bank, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really is.
I do my YouTube channel, definitely.
Because
it's one of my favorite things to do with like, especially vlogs with the kids.
I
can imagine.
Watch them back, and we're like, "Oh, do you remember this?" And it's just nice to have that reminder of like,
that's meant that,
and it's usually the silly ones that you don't put much effort into it that are the best ones.
100. And the thing is, like, this is the thing now with phones and stuff. You can take like 1,000 photos, and if you don't upload them, they just sit on your phone, and you don't see them till ages away. But I think the good thing about YouTube is it's got a place just to put them all. It's almost just like, Google Drive, but other people can watch, but they can go back and see it. So I think that for me, I'm going to probably do that more this year with me and Joe, which is just not especially the UK parks. I can't film the UK parks any much more than I have, to be honest. So, but yeah,
there's something I really want to bring up with like between Fantasyland and Universal Studios. Now that a good amount of us have seen both at their best and seen Rookburg and all of that. Just the connection thematically and in terms of area design, and especially the entrance into those areas between Rookburg, to an extent Klugheim as well, and then Diagon Alley, and now Super Nintendo World. Ooh. The way the air, like the entrance, they use like entrance portals that are really small, and you can't see anything in the area until you go through them, and then the whole world is just revealed to you.
It opens up,
it all opens up. And one thing to tie it in with the topic, like the fact that I guess you could argue that the Gringotts Bank is kind of a bit of a weenie for
the dragon, certainly
for the dragon, for Diagon Alley. But aside from that, none of those areas have weenies.
No, it's just buildings.
It's literally just like the built world that you're submerged into as you enter.
You're thrown into.
This
is Harry Potter.
And if there was like, a central focal point, it would take your attention away from just visually speaking and thematically speaking.
No, yeah, you're right.
It would take your attention away from everything else that they also put so much effort into the detail and placement in and presentation in. So those it all ties in so well. Like just like the absence of a weenie and just the entire reveal of the area means you see everything. Like you see it all, and it's like I can understand why some people describe it as overwhelming, but like because it kind of is.
It is,
I think that's the emotion they go for,
Yeah, but Rookburg is like overwhelming. I remember being in there, being like, "What do I look at?" Like,
exactly.
I remember. So going in summer, I literally like had a lump in my throat walking into Rookburg. Through that portal entrance.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, holy shit.
And you see the suitcases and the case holders, the trolleys and everything, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're in. And if you
I would say if you're experiencing Rookburg for the first time and you're at Charles Lindbergh, it sounds counterproductive, but I was like, I would actually come out of
leave the park and come in.
I would come through that entrance.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's the way it was designed to be seen first. Because I feel like I didn't appreciate it when we come down them hotel steps. I was like, this is really cool. But then
the hotel steps weren't as bad as I thought they would be. Because they actually hide a lot of the area when you walk down that way.
They do a good job.
Until you hit the stairs, and then it's like,
they do a good job.
It's not the same though.
I don't think I think because I think like we appreciated it, but I knew that we was going to go do Fly first. So we just kind of like walked through the area, went out into Berlin, and then went in over to Taron. But then later on, we went to check in. Me and Joe like walked through the Rookburg portal because it's like a whole tunnel. There's like things it's like the whole experience of like walking through the whole thing. And then it
because like an airport terminal.
Yeah, it's like you're going through it, and then it opens up, and then it's just like incredible. I'd say that's probably the best way to experience Rookburg. That's like being really geeky and nerdy. Because
when we got there, our rooms were ready like yours, so we did do the gate first. But I was still blown away. But then I liked the second introduction to it when we walked away and did Taron and came back and Chapas, and it had been like probably 2 or 3 hours before we came back. And we walked back through, and I was just like,
"That's what I got. That's what I got." We walked through the hotel entrance to the area first, and it still hit all of us like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
But then, this, like you said, the secondary, time. The second time we went back into the area, we went through the Berlin entrance, and I mean, I can't speak to how it would have felt if that had been the first time. but that second time it's still
it still hit. All I was thinking was
hits.
like, it still hits, but in my head I was like, imagine if you were there like opening day, you know, when it just opened up, randomly.
The soft open,
and then you were like there, and you just walked like there's no pictures of it, there's nothing. You've never seen anything of it,
especially with how long it took to get completed as well.
But can you imagine just walking through that tunnel for the first time and then coming out and then being like, what is this? Like, could you imagine
how have
thought?
Knowing everything you know about Klugheim as well.
Yeah.
Like just walking in there the first time and you're just thinking, how have they done it again?
Yeah. That's what makes me think about Phantasialand is like everyone. I thought when I did Klugheim, I was like, how is this new area even like? They've got a lot to top here.
Yeah,
and they did it like. I mean, I don't know. In some ways, Klugheim is still my favorite because it's just got a lot of stuff that.
That's what I was gonna ask. Yeah. So do you what you do prefer? Klugheim,
I don't know. I think they're equal. I think they're equal to me. They're very different. I've gone back
and forth about it so much.
The way I see it is Klugheim is Ruckberg is like Klugheim in the future.
Yeah.
like not the same place, but like in this exist in the same universe. And I'm like, it just I don't know. They're very different. And I think at night at night Ruckberger wins because they've really thought the lighting. I think something about after seeing Ruckberg, I thought Klugheim could do with a few bits of more lighting, like on some of the other wall and stuff. I think they could do that because I do like how dark it is, don't get me wrong, but like I don't know, I just feel like if they just had a few more lights on, it would make the area a bit.
It don't even need to be like in your face lights.
It needs to be like a few like
subtle lighting. Just more subtle lighting.
Like little lights in some of the windows and stuff. Just to make it, because like it is pretty much like that. You've got that one feature wall that's all lit up blue, but then the other side of it at night, it's just completely black, which on ride is cool
as well. Like,
but I want to see just like a little bit something not too over the top. I don't want to see like supports all lit up and stuff like that.
If they could, if they could figure out a way to add a little more subtle lighting to that area in specific places where it doesn't affect how black that part of the ride is,
which is cool
because that's probably my favorite part of riding at night is getting off of that launch tunnel and then you're just engulfed in fog and you can't see shit. Like that's one of my favorite parts of riding at night. But
and the fact you get up there so quick, you blink.
Exactly. It's a stark contrast from the red lighting in the tunnel. But my preference, like. It is just down to my personal, I really resonate with dramatic natural landscapes. I'll put it that way. So like, I understand when people say that Ruckberg is better for them, but for me personally, dude, like just like the intimidation factor of all the rock work in there, and how much more rustic and naturalized like all the buildings in Klugheim are, the planting that they have in the area, the waterfalls, I vibe. I just especially in snow, especially when it's snowing as well.
The fact that you got
I vibe with that just a little bit more. I think
what I love is just that area where all the food is and like the tavern is, and I love that area there. Like it just feels so good, and I think it just comes down to what you love. You know, don't get me wrong, I love steampunk, but it's never really. I've never been like well into that sort of like Jules Verne stuff and that. Like but I love it. I love the aesthetic of it,
and that is absolutely the best iteration of
100%.
Like without really question, even including Tokyo Disney Sea, in my opinion.
But I mean, I've not been, but I can imagine so.
Yeah,
but like, I just think it just comes down to what is your vibe really. And I think for me, Klugheim, when we were sitting there in the snow, and it was snowing, and we was having a pint, and it was just like all the you see like the mill house and everything and all that sort of stuff. It just yeah, it's brilliant. I love it. But anyway, guys, we have to clock off. We're at 2.5 hours.
Me too.
This is an extra long episode. The drunk
Thank
riders
you for
would
sticking
be
with us,
proud.
guys.
It
Still
was
29
bound to
people
be.
watching.
It was bound to be.
This was Fantasyland
Special.
Worship.
Special.
number
Third special.
524.
Yeah. Back to regular scheduling next week.
Sunday service on a Wednesday.
Amen.
Yeah, guys, if you have anything you want us to talk about for main topics, please let us know. Just if you're on Twitter, just
Tweet
go and tweet at us and just see what you want us to talk about, because we can talk for hours about anything. We're not always going to have loads of news like we did have this week. We had a lot of catching up to do and things like that. So this has been an extra long episode, but let us know what you want us to talk about and we'll do our best to do it. So yeah. That was like when we've not been away, when we've been away for like a week, because we just basically like
it goes like 60, 60, 62 and a half. 60, 62 and a half.
But yeah, thanks everyone
Is real.
for sticking with us.
We love you all, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us.
And
Thanks so much.
Mad.
Anyone want to say anything?
Yeah, quickly. Just wanted to say about Carl is doing his 12 months of
Yeah, he is, isn't he?
stuff. What do you call it? Every month he's doing a task. He's just done dry January and no takeaways. He's just finished that today, hence his little beer. February he's running 250 kilometers. Why would you do that? But you can sponsor him. He's doing something new for the whole 12 months, hoping to reach his target, donating all the money to Mind, which is an important charity. So you can catch us on socials and see where to donate if you wish.
And I would just say, like, he's been talking about, like, for one of them is doing infusion all day.
No.
And can I just say, like, don't do it, Carl?
Don't
please.
do it.
Don't do it. Like,
You won't
You know what?
survive.
I literally all think he'll have like issues from doing that. Like,
I
think
I
he should
genuinely
do it.
think he could.
Can we all persuade him not to do that? I
Get
think
poorly from doing that.
Do you know what?
Right,
If he is
next
doing
week I'll
that,
do
though, I'm not going to join in because that's just stupid. But I do wish to bring a deck chair. I will quite happily like sit myself
With a pie.
Pie, cheese sandwich. What kind of cheese for that?
Emma's thinking. All Emma's thinking is content. She's like, oh,
Just gonna film the
There he
whole
goes
thing.
again for the 50th time.
I get beers in on
Shaking a
Bummy,
bit.
on Thorpe Park. I'll have a great
throwing
time.
up.
Especially when it's nice and warm. I can sit there all day. Don't worry. But I am not doing it with you. Okay.
Also, just get a few beers down and
You
it'll
said
be numb to the pain.
Okay, 3
3 days.
No,
Oh.
Carl.
Carl,
You'll
no.
be ill bad.
Yeah,
You'll
that-
fuck
that-
you back.
that-
You've
that
got
might
a bad
be-
week
Nah.
as it is.
Nah, dude, that's not. You can't do that.
Your
Just ride
balls-
Nick Street for a day or something.
Yeah, Nick Street is probably better.
You're gonna have a brain hemorrhage.
Icon.
Just get
Just
punched
do
in the head
Icon.
by Mike Tyson. It'll do as much damage.
just ride Icon. Like it's if you're gonna do it for 3 days, just ride Icon. That's hard enough as well.
Ew.
Don't do it, Carl.
Don't do fusion, bro.
Anyway, thanks, guys. We'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.